Netherton, I'm Garrett Walford bringing you tonight's game. Patrick, the battle for Bossier Parish should be a shootout. Both these teams averaging better than 50 a game.
Yeah, if you are a fan of defensive football, you like a good 7-6 ball game, maybe cover your eyes and look through your fingers because this is not the game for you. 1-5A, this district is nothing but offenses, great quarterbacks, defense optional, except Parkway actually plays a little bit of defense. That might be the wild card tonight.
They give up just 20 points a game. For Airline, they've scored 7 touchdowns or more 4 games in a row. They're just 2-2 in those matchups. Let's take a look at keys for tonight's game.
Yeah, obviously for Airline, they have a couple of absolute studs, Darby chief among them. Got to spread the ball around. 1 in 26 are going to get their touches. Everyone else needs to as well. And for Airline, get stops. They have really struggled with stopping the opponent. As you just mentioned, a lot of points the last 2 weeks, but losses in the last 2 weeks. For Parkway, it is twofold. Number one, don't give extra possessions to Airline. They are so dangerous offensively. And number two, find a way to slow down Kenneth Darby. If that means you have to put 2 guys on him, he's going to be all over the field today, so find a way to slow him down.
Kenneth Darby, the LSU commit on the sidelines. And there you see Coy Brotherton now in his 6th season with Parkway. His Panthers are undefeated and averaging 56 points a night. How impressed have you been by their quarterback, Caleb Williams? He missed most of last year with an injury. He has come out in 25 like a man on fire.
Yeah, it's exactly what they saw him starting to grow into 2 years ago before he was injured early last season against Natchitoches Central. And he's taken the reins back. We're going to talk later about one of the coolest stories that you saw in high school football last year, who played quarterback down the stretch for Parkway. But having Williams back makes everything much easier for Coy Brotherton.
Williams on the season, 21 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. He's completing 80% of his passes. You see Parkway in the red with black helmets, and the Airline Vikings 3-2 on the year in the whites with blue helmets. Of course, Airline has to replace the best quarterback in school history, Ben Taylor, who's now in your neck of the woods in Natchitoches. Really talented QB.
Yeah, and again, it's a very quarterback-friendly offense that is run by Justin Scoggin. A lot of short passing game, a lot of jet sweep action, a lot of yard after catch for these Airline receivers and backs. But, yeah, Ben Taylor was very much a comforting blanket for the Airline Vikings last year, having to learn to do something a little bit different this year with Chase Williams at quarterback.
Kickoff is away into the end zone, and Parkway will take the field. 15 touchdowns rushing, 22 passing. And they don't kick the ball very often. They're 9 of 11 on 2-point conversions. They are trying to get it into the end zone as much as possible.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit of some of your 1A, 2A schools that just don't have a kicker, so they go for 2 every time. I love that. It just so happens that for Parkway, they lost their kicker right before the season started. The one they have is a freshman. So, hey, why not go ahead and go for 2?
Caleb Williams, the senior, 2-year starter in 2023 as a sophomore. They went 7-4 and made the playoffs, again injured in week 4 last year, and has just been off like a rocket. They'll start on the 20-yard line in just a 2-wide set. Man in the backfield, Damian DeCal. Williams throwing on the first play. Catch is made for a first down and a little bit more. That's Gary Burney. We take a look at our starting offense. Williams, DeCal, and then the wide receiver set of Bernie, Gladney, who also doubles as a safety, and Josh Coleman eat up yards and keep the offense on the field. They have 4 seniors on the offensive line, and the center, Pat Gray, is a 3-year starter. Second play from scrimmage, more positive yards for the Panthers. And you can see some of the signs, Patrick. Sobo versus Nobo. What are we looking at there?
Yeah, well, it's a battle of Bossier. The parishes don't like each other. South Bossier, North Bossier, Parkway here in South Bossier, Airline in North Bossier, not big fans.
Williams loads up, goes the distance down the field. Good coverage there by Zeus Arthur. And the defensive standings for Airline, who runs a 4-3, old school, like the Nick Saban or the Tampa 2. Jamarian Davis and Cole Shepard get pressure on the line. Braylon Jackson and Abram Coates line up at linebacker. And again, Arthur and Jalen Bradley, 2 of the better corners you'll find in District 1 5A.
And Arthur, obviously, with that huge play. Ball was underthrown to start with, so it made it a little bit of an easier play, but gets the head around. Very, very important to turn around when the ball's in the air so you can play it.
Now 3rd and 7, 3-wide set. DeCal in the backfield. He'll pick up a block. First down and more. Still on his feet is Burney. He'll be dragged down at the 10-yard line. Huge pickup. I think a 44-yard pickup for 88, Gary Burney.
This is as simple as it gets. It's a go route against press man, and there's no safety over the top. All you have to do is beat your man, and you get a great completion and a terrific ball thrown by Williams.
Handoff to DeCal, his first carry of the game. Gary Burney, over 500 yards receiving on the season already. He's got an offer from Arkansas State. Coach Brotherton making sure that the guys continue to be in good contact with college recruiters. Looks like a couple of substitutions here, and we're going to go power. 2nd and 9. They're inside the 10.
Well, it's interesting. First play from scrimmage, they went with a couple of H-backs and then split out wide Gary Burney. Now they're going traditional power formation, which is interesting considering the fact that they got here really through the air.
Williams, hands off. Nice fall forward into the 5-yard line. Still pushing hard as DeCal runs hard for 5'6", 165.
Yeah, sometimes the low center of gravity helps, right? And being that small, you're not a big target for anyone to find. Hard to get a good lick on you, as they say. So, fantastic work. And look, no kicker, so you're going for it.
4th down and 1 from the 5. They'll push forward.
I think it was a fumble.
This ball's taken over by Airline. Big 90, Caleb Crow, the senior, came up with it, and a turnover at a critical time for Parkway.
Yeah, Caleb Williams came out from under center and just stood there. It looked like it was going to be a tush-push type of formation, but as soon as the ball was snapped, he didn't have it. So Williams just stood there. Watch him just stand up straight. Actually, you know what? They didn't even snap the ball. Well, there you go. The ball was not even snapped by the center, Pat Gray, who's a 3-year starter for this team, should know better. But everyone moved. That honestly should have been a false start instead of a fumble.
Now Chase Williams will take over at the 5-yard line. Pass laterally to the front of the end zone, and taking that one out is DJ Allen.
As we mentioned, this is a quarterback-friendly offense for Airline. A lot of short passing game, a lot of ability to throw it within that, right around the line of scrimmage area.
You see the numbers good. Completes 65% of his passes, 14 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions.
And took over for, as we mentioned, Ben Taylor, who threw for nearly 13,000 yards.
Big stick, and the ball comes loose. Great defensive showing by Parkway. Copenhaver or Peyton Rayner involved on that one.
Yeah, Rayner just straight man on the outside. It was a very quick pass, and ball man hit. Knocks it right out. Terrific close coverage. And again, that's part of the thing. You see, that was just zone right there. Rayner was just sitting on that short zone. As soon as the ball came out, he rallied to it, laid the hit perfectly.
Terrence Hayes, number 18, split out wide. He's got 3 touchdown catches on the year, but they've got to move the sticks here. 2nd and 10, ball on the 15. Williams at 5'10", 170 pounds in his junior season. Quick handoff in the backfield. The defensive line swarms, maybe 2 yards on the pickup.
Well, as we mentioned, you're going to see a steady dose of DJ Allen. You're also going to see a steady dose of Kenneth Darby, who we have not called his name yet. And as a matter of fact, he a lot of times will line up in the backfield. Right now, he's lined up slot right, as you see the head coach for Airline.
Justin Scoggin, in his 4th year, took his team to an undefeated regular season a year ago. 10-0, made the state quarterfinals, lost to a good Destrehan team. Williams looking at 3rd and 6. Jet sweep to Darby, tries to turn the corner, and he is motored down over about the 22-yard line. I think the punting team's going to come on the field.
And that's what I'm talking about with this Airline offense. Everything is designed around the line of scrimmage. That's technically a pass. Those are positive passing yards for Williams, but it's, again, a safe play. Now you just try to rely on your playmaker, Darby, to do something for you.
Back deep to return, Nate Kemp for Parkway. Left-footed punter just gets this one away. Kemp lets this one roll up towards the crown of the field, and it'll be stopped at about the 48-yard line. So both teams with an empty possession. Let's go downstairs to the third member of our broadcast team, Steve Schneider.
Guys, you might remember a game where one quarterback was Peyton Manning, the other one was Drew Brees, and a coach named Peyton stole a possession with an onside kick. The Saints won the Super Bowl. Coy Brotherton says this district every week, and specifically this game, you got to steal possessions if you want to win. Back to you.
Thank you, Steve. Second time out on the field for Parkway. It'd be interesting to see if that's how valuable these possessions are, Patrick, if you can pull something like that and really gain a lot of momentum.
You know, in basketball, points per possession has been a stat that's been in vogue for quite a while now, probably a decade. Coy Brotherton's the first coach I've ever heard of talking about points per possession in football and how valuable the possessions are here in District 1-5A.
A.J. Johnson, the freshman speedster around the right end for a minimal gain. He averages 7 yards a carry, has 4 touches on the year.
Well, so far I've been very impressed with the play of Airline's defense. This is, again, a 1-5A district where you don't go many possessions in a row with stops, and so far impressive for Airline.
Williams surveys the field. He'll tuck it and run up to the 50, brought down by 2, including Jamyron Davis, the junior D-tackle.
And again, that's an extra dimension that Williams has, the ability to move and scramble. The middle opened up, but again, rallying to the ball. Just how quickly Braylon Jackson was able to get there and snuff it out. Very impressive stuff.
Now 3rd and 7. Williams in the shotgun. Bernie at the top of your screen had a 40-yard pickup earlier in the quarter. Looking for Bernie. Eyeballs him, throws deep down the field, and overthrows him, though a flag comes in late.
Well, it's interesting. The Airline faithful won an uncatchable pass. The problem is I believe this is going to be defensive holding, which it doesn't matter if it's catchable or not, if it is a defensive holding call.
Where am I?
We'll hear from our official here in just a moment.
Holding on the defense. 10-yard penalty.
Our white
result of the play.
Burton.
First down.
So Jalen Bradley got called for that, and I'll be honest, based on that replay, I saw nothing that warranted a flag. He had the hand on the shoulder, but there was no pulling or grabbing. Might have been earlier in the route, but from what I saw, that looked like incidental contact.
Handoff, this time left side to Johnson. Johnson tripped up, but Parkway is on the move.
Well, so far, deep shot that they hit. Airline makes the tackle and then forces the fumble. But other than that one play, Airline's defense has stood up.
Coach Brotherton talked about Caleb Williams, high IQ, very smart player, 4.0 student, and really has a leader's mentality. In his senior season, trying to make the most of it. Tucks and runs. He'll avoid one defender over the 30, and a nice pickup by Caleb Williams, who averaged only 5 yards a carry coming in.
You know, it's interesting because this was man under. A little unusual to see everyone not be able to recognize that Williams was on the move. That was Brian Cooper with a late recognition of Williams running when those guys should have their eyes in the backfield.
Now 3rd and 1, ball on the 29-yard line. Power run up the middle. Plenty of lanyap on that run by A.J. Johnson.
That's just great power right over the left side. This is a massive offensive line, especially in that center left guard spot. Pat Gray that time.
They'll go again and follow Bernie this time. Let's take a look at that previous play again, Patrick.
Yeah, watch the push that you get over the left side. When you're an interior offensive lineman, at that time it was Chris Green, and you have no one to block, chances are something went well. And Chris Green, 75 at that point, had no one to block, which meant the hole was wide open. Whether that was Airline covering up the wrong gaps or someone else doing a tremendous job inside. And again, the center, Pat Gray, did a fantastic job of sealing the nose guard right over the top of him.
Ball on the 17-yard line, 2nd and 9. Williams with time to throw to the face of the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Josh Coleman. A 17-yard pickup between Williams and Coleman, and Parkway's on the board first.
That's just too easy. Middle of the field is wide open. An easy route combination. Coleman just able to run the skinny post right inside, and there's no one there. The safeties both split out to go wide. And if you can read it, you see the safeties abandoning the middle of the field. There is not a linebacker that is going to be able to run with Josh Coleman.
Speaking of running, we might see a little bit more. Ball on the 3-yard line. They will go for 2 here. Little misdirection.
The Philly
throw
special
by Coleman, diving in, and it comes out late. The official does not mark the 2-pointer.
I wonder how many 2-point conversion plays Coy Brotherton has, because that's all they do is go for 2. I cannot imagine how many 2-point plays they have.
Let's take another look.
Yeah, again, safety. There you see the safety coming in late from the right side of your screen. That was Jeremiah Epps. The linebacker's not going to be able to stop that over the top unless you run that Tampa 2. You got to get the linebacker all the way back, and he wasn't. That's going to be an easy pitch and catch every time unless there's any pressure on the quarterback.
Parkway averages 56 points per game. They need 7 more touchdowns to match that.
It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you. This 1-5A district is just incredible. The quarterbacks that are here, the number 1 recruit in the class of 2027, who you know well, Pop Houston from Evangel, is already committed to LSU. I mean, this is just a district that is replete with QB play. What did
Steve Schneider say? The attempt at the onside kick ends up in the hands of Airline. Tyler Goodlow, the sophomore, comes away with it. Back out on the field, the offense for Airline, led by Chase Williams, DJ Allen at running back. Kenneth Darby, the state's number 1 receiver, over 1,700 yards, 29 touchdowns a year ago. Justin Woodfork, they're very high on this young tight end, very good hands. And then a couple of very veteran guys through the middle, and Joseph Thrash, J.D. Yates, and Christian Nelson on the line. First pass by Williams, caught there. Wrestled out of bounds is Hayes, and that'll be an incomplete, actually.
Yeah, he was looking for his running back, DJ Allen. Here's the thing. They were so concerned on the opposite side for Darby that they doubled him and did not have enough numbers on the near side.
Johnson, Kemp, and Poland on the D-line. This brought to you by Farm Bureau. Renton Rayner and Brady Pine, the leading linebacker tacklers. Very talented squad. You'll see Cam Hines and Tony Gladney lined up at cornerback.
Let me tell you, if Allen catches that last pass, it's a touchdown, because there were only 3 defenders against 4 offensive players on one side, because they are keeping a safety. At the top of your screen is Darby. They're keeping a safety over the top of him at all times.
Here's DJ Allen, stiff arms one man, gets hit hard by Rayner and driven back.
Yeah, Copenhaver, one of the best linebackers, was just waiting, stringing that one out. Then the help comes from Rayner. That linebacking core for Parkway is as good as it gets, there's no doubt.
Rayner already 23 tackles on the year, an interception, and 2 forced fumbles. He fills the stat sheet up. Williams looking to the sideline. It's 3rd and long. They need 10 yards to move the chains. That's Darby, top of your screen, just back of the O-line. Now he's in motion. Williams to the right side, holds it and pays for it. Big tackle for loss. Kellen Millhouse. His first full sack of the season. Here's a replay.
Well, you can see Justin Scoggin, the coach for Airline, trying to go away from Darby a little bit to try to confuse the defense. The problem is he's still going the direction of Allen, and the defensive line was not fooled. And now 4th down and almost 15, and you're going for it.
Ball's on the 42-yard line. They need 16 yards to move the chains.
Quick kick? Yep, quick kick. As soon as you see the quarterback back up.
Williams boots this one, a low liner. Bounces inside the 30, takes a nice hop for the Vikings. That's back past the 15-yard line, so Williams gets it done. 2 empty possessions for Airline. Hey, the high school spotlight in its 3rd season and airs live on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on the LHSAA Network Live channel. The high school spotlight features all the top stories in high school athletics from around the state in all LHSAA sports. The sun setting here in Bossier Parish. Beautiful view of Peyton Crownover Stadium. Glad you're with us on tonight's game of the week. Already a 6-0 lead for Parkway. If you're Airline, you need a stop here.
Yeah, and unfortunately those have been few and far between for this Airline defense. We mentioned the last 2 weeks for Airline. They lost 66-56 and 51-49. If you score 105 points over the course of 2 weeks, you feel like you should be 2-0. But they've given up 117 points the last 2 weeks. They've got to find a way to shore it up defensively.
2 wide set, play action to Braxton Black. Black gets a little run. He is their bruiser back, a junior. Kyron Taylor with the tackle for Airline.
It's a really nice job by Taylor. He stepped in, took on a block, rode the block down the line, and then was able to dislodge and get the stop. That was really fantastic individual effort by the linebacker.
Trip wide receivers, top of your screen. Ball on the 17. Not a lot of pressure on Caleb Williams. Time to throw, and that's too easy. Again to Gary Burney, the 6'4" outside threat.
Look, I understand you've been beaten deep. You've had another deep throw that was called a hold. You've got some issues with the opponents going deep on you, but you cannot give 20, 25 yards of cushion on a great receiver like that.
Little run over the left side as we come back. They'll get up to about the 40-yard line. Little under 3 minutes remaining in our first quarter of play.
The thing you worry about if you're Justin Scoggin, who's an offensive mind, one of the genius offensive minds in this area, the thing you worry about is if your defense cannot get pressure at all on Williams, this could be a very long night. No pressure.
Williams goes down and takes a lick. And a flag comes in. It'll be a late attack on the quarterback.
Well, that's an interesting flag because the officials that were nearest the play didn't throw it. The back judge threw it from 25 yards downfield. It was a very late slide by Williams. And again, honestly, Garrett, there was no pressure there. The pocket was fine. Williams sort of created the pressure, or the clock in his mind went off and he said, I've got to move. But there really wasn't pressure on him at that point. He didn't have to run.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness against the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Personal foul here. Let's take another look.
Look, pocket's fine. He doesn't have to move if he doesn't want to, and then it's a helmet to helmet. You have to call that. It wasn't that it was particularly late on Jeremiah Epps, but he did go in helmet to helmet, and they're going to call that every single time.
Epps, the senior, unlikely to do that again.
Well, you just can't lead with your helmet at any point in time as a defender these days. Just take your head out of it.
Ball on the 38. Quick little 10-yard pass. Sneaking out is Tony Gladney, and he's got the first down. The yards after catch for Gladney.
That's just great individual effort. Desmond Curry has him initially. Right, this is a 5-yard gain, and it's just terrific individual effort. So, again, you couple the fact that Parkway can throw deep. They've shown you that ability. Williams has that arm. Once you start missing tackles in the short to intermediate range, there's nothing you really can stop on this Parkway offense.
Gladney was all district as a safety last year. Here's a 50-50 ball to Burney, and it's in and out of his hands.
I'd argue with Burney that's more a 70-30 ball, right? Like, I mean, he's so big. He's such a great target. And this ball is very catchable. I think if he maybe slows down a bit and jumps as opposed to continuing to go through it and try to dive, he probably catches that.
Williams on 2nd and 10. Nice tackle in the backfield. Braylon Jackson with the penetration.
Well, it's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to bring some linebackers. They're going to have to bring some guys in. You cannot sit back and wait against this Parkway offense. Not only is it a terrific blitz, not only is it perfectly timed and in the right gap, but he does make a very sure tackle.
Coach Scoggin called him a throwback linebacker, an inside guy, and a 3-year starter for the Vikings.
And
no
Airline,
loss on the play, still 3rd and 10.
Airline, as we mentioned, a 3-4 type of set, but anytime you play a 3-4, they're going to walk that other linebacker up.
We'll step aside, take a quick break, but stay with us on a live look on the field.
So it's going to come down to this.
Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Coming out of the timeout, it's 3rd and 10, ball on the 23-yard line for Parkway. And again, as Patrick mentioned, they lost their kicker to start the season, who joined the soccer team to focus only on soccer. So this is 4th down territory for them for sure.
Absolutely. And the 1996 World Cup vuvuzelas that Airline is still keeping in effect are loud and proud.
DeCal lets one defender go by him, but he'll be brought down at the 25.
And here's the reason you run the ball, because you know you're going for it on 4th down anyway, right? The playbook has to be considerably different for Coy Brotherton and his offense, knowing you're going for it on 4th down. If you got a great kicker, you might try to get 3 or 4 yards and then kick your field goal.
This time, Gary Burney, 88, was in the backfield, now goes out wide, and a timeout by Airline. Coach Scoggin and his defensive coordinator got a free peek at the lineup.
Yeah, now this is the chess match, of course. Do you change your play at this point?
Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Coca-Cola, Real Magic, and by Louisiana Army National Guard. Protect what matters. By Oshner and the Oshner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute, and by Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation, the voice of Louisiana agriculture. How about Parkway and Airline, 2 of the top teams in 5A in District 1? I don't know who's going to come out with the district crown this year, but there's certainly going to be a favorite to make it to the Superdome in the 2nd week of December.
Yeah, they're going to earn it. That's for sure. The interesting thing is Parkway Airline is really the first true test that they've had this season for Parkway after Scoggin called the timeout to see what Parkway was going to do. Again, this is the chess match. If you're Parkway and the offensive staff, do you change up the look because they've seen what you were in? Do you go back and run the same thing? I don't know.
Again with the empty backfield on 4th and 12. Ball on the 24-yard line. Burney is back there.
By the way, a lot of space that you can't even see it on your screen, but there's 2 receivers outside the numbers.
Gladney and Gabe Gray right on that right sideline. Can Airline dial up another stop on 4th down? Here comes the blitz. They've gotten to Caleb Williams and throw him down. Kyron Taylor.
And that's what they have to do. They have to blitz. Airline was dialing up. It looked like they were trying to find something over the middle. No surprise for Gary Burney, but I think Airline needs to blitz all night, especially in long down and distance situations.
Everybody fired up for Kyron Taylor. The junior missed the first couple of games with injury. He's worked himself back into a starting spot. .119 remaining in our first quarter. 6-0 Parkway. Ball on the 31-yard line. Can the Vikings answer here? Quick handoff in the backfield. And good pressure by the defensive line to force a tackle for loss.
Ball came out. I don't think it was on time. But look, if you're counting, right, one of the things you can count is Airline stops. They don't get a lot of them. They've had 2. They had a fumble that was caused inside the 10-yard line and now a turnover on downs. Those basically are just those extra possessions we were talking about.
Vikings have been pretty balanced on the season. Here's some pressure on Williams. He'll evade one tackler up to the 40. And Williams up to about the 45-yard line for the first down. They have 14 passing touchdowns and 16 rushing.
Yeah, this is what you have to do. Watch, the middle immediately vacates, and then Williams able to get the outside. There was no chance that Colby Lee was going to be able to catch him around the corner. Both of the Williams have the ability to get on the move with their feet.
Nice balance there by the junior back, Matthew Moore, to stay upright, picks up a couple of extra yards.
I'm actually surprised we have not seen Darby in the backfield yet. That's the new wrinkle they added over the course of the last few games.
Hand off to the fullback. DJ Allen still on his feet. Past the 40. He's got 3 men around him and finally brought down at the 25. 27-yard, 37-yard pickup.
And by the way, a wrinkle. Right? He's not lined up as the tailback, he's lined up as the fullback. So they basically run that little fullback counter play, old school counter trap. He just gets the ball right over the left side. You're not expecting the fullback to get the ball in Justin Scoggins' offense.
The defense for Airline helps turn the ball over, and they are cooking here. Chase Williams driving them down the field. Second quarter action when we return to Crown Over Stadium right after this.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Welcome back in. Beautiful downtown here in North Louisiana, the Red River Revel, and all the good things to happen. Big throw over the top by Chase Williams. Man's open in the end zone. Darby pushed out of bounds. Would have been a 24-yard pickup for the LSU commit.
That was so close. He did plant both feet, but I think they were both out of bounds. Incredibly close, though. Really good throw by Williams. Excellent route by Darby. He's a guy you definitely want to throw it up to if given the opportunity.
Love how quickly they got to the line and got the play away. Williams, this time left side, in and out of the hands of Terrence Hayes.
And you have to catch those, right? And he knows that. It's when you're the team that is the underdog in this matchup, you're not the undefeated team. You're the team. By the way, Justin Scoggins only lost 3 games in a row once at Airline, and it was the first 3 games of his career at Airline. He's never lost that many in a row before. He's looking that straight in the face at this one. Those are the kind of plays you have to make, the fairly routine plays. Make those plays, and obviously you've got a chance to pull an upset.
That would have been a first down. Instead, they're looking at 3rd and 10 from the 24 as we start the second quarter. Williams in the gun, rolls right, looking for the end zone, keeps it and just trashes that one out. Flag did come out late. I don't know if one of the receivers, Darby, might have been blanketed.
Well, everyone was blanketed, that's for sure. There was nothing open, nowhere to throw, but I wonder if we might have had a hold back on the back end somewhere.
We have 1 flag on the play, holding on the defense. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, chances are if you're having to defend that long, you're going to hold, you're going to grab somewhere. Again, tremendous work by Parkway. They did not, there was not an open area, there was not an open receiver. Everyone was blanketed. And then Williams did the right thing, throwing it away. Airline obviously getting fortunate to have the penalty.
They can still reach the 4-yard line and pick up a first down. Handoff in the backfield to DJ Allen. Allen smothered there by Nate Kemp. Maybe picked up his 3rd tackle for loss of the year.
There is nothing finer than a defensive tackle wearing 0. That is the best thing you can possibly have, is a big D lineman wearing number 0.
Nate Kemp fits the bill. Loss of 1 on the play. Allen stays in the backfield. Kenneth Darby, number 1, at the bottom of your screen. Allen. This one's caught at the 5-yard line, and a shoestring tackle saves it from being a touchdown, but Kenneth Darby gets him into 1st and goal.
Yeah, and the hands catch here, watch the hands. I mean, those are both aggressive, physical, and also very soft hands.
DJ Allen spinning between defenders, gets a push from behind, stayed on his feet. He's in the end zone. Airline is fired up. DJ Allen has tied our ball game at 6.
That's rugby scrum football right there. We've seen a lot of it, and push, obviously, the number 1 example. Again, lining up Allen as the fullback instead of the tailback, it allows for a little bit more misdirection. Same play they ran for the big 39-yard gain earlier. They just run that inside reverse trap. The quarterback reverse pivots, hands off, and it's just the work of the offensive line, and in this case, the fullback, Allen.
Max Tinkus lining up. The left footer sends it up, and Airline takes their first lead of the game, 7-6 here in the 2nd quarter. DJ Allen from the 2.
Again, just the reverse pivot, the easy handoff, and then it becomes, can your offensive line push my defensive line around? And it's how long does the official let that one go, right? Forward progress, they were still moving forward, so you continue to let it go. And ultimately, it just becomes a rugby scrum, and the guys in the white jerseys were stronger than the guys in the red jerseys. Also, I just want to note this, right? This shot that we have right here, what those guys are looking at is somewhere in the neighborhood of about a 60-inch TV. Look at the size of that television. That is not a rinky-dink TV. These are not kids that are looking at their iPads. That is a massive screen. I was walking down by it earlier and kind of shocked. It's almost as big as my living room TV. And they carry that thing with them on the road.
Literally scoring the touchdown and heading back to get the review and try and improve on it for the next. Kickoff is away, low, but it's got some good distance to it. This one's playable by Tony Gladney. Gladney from the 3. He splits the hole, still on his feet past the 30. Trying to turn the corner and picks up a 45-yard return. Tony Gladney.
Well, they may not have a kicker, but they've got a return game. That's absolutely for sure. And again, it's the way you put your best athletes in any situation you can find. And Gladney is one of the best athletes on the field on any given day. It actually ended up going all the way back to the 1. That almost was a touchback.
See him running away in wrestling championship.
It is, and they packed that place out. And by the way, Bossier Parish has some of the best wrestling schools in the entire state.
Parkway, one of them.
Yes, Parkway is a fan. And look, they just have to go across the street to go wrestle. Just walk over there. I wonder if they walk over there in their singlets.
Holding call, I believe that was against Parkway. Zeus Arthur in coverage.
Well, it was a throw into double coverage to start with. The hold there you see on the right side of your screen pulled him down and then jumped on top of him. But that's not a wise throw, right? That's a throw into double coverage. I know Gladney is really good, but that's not the way that you want to approach it. Don't throw it into double coverage. I hate the phrase take what the defense gives you, but Airline, again, we've talked about their defense is susceptible. They have some holes. Find the holes and exploit them.
The big man, Chris Green, at 305 pounds, called for the hold off the left side.
You're not going to get away with that if you're 305 pounds. You're going to get seen.
Braxton Black, the bruising back, takes the handoff up the middle. And a shoestring tackle by Dre Garner, number 6.
And again, very impressed so far with the linebacking play of both of these teams. especially Airline. The linebackers have not been fooled. They've not been getting out of their gaps. Very sound.
Williams can't connect.
Yeah, it's just a simple drop. It's a great look. Gladney's right there. Throw's not perfect, but it hits you right above your knees. That's one he knows he should pull in.
Number 36 off the left side, Drayden Davis, senior tight end. He's gotten a handoff, but a timeout called by Airline. Stick with us. We've got man-to-man coverage coming up. Airline 7-6.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard. Part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
When looking for a college, I wanted somewhere that would push me and allow me to kind of be the person I'd always wanted to be.
Everyone here kind of has this mindset of seeing the next person succeed, and I think that just creates a Southern Miss spirit.
You find what you need out of Southern Miss. What I need isn't what another student needs, but we all find something here.
You don't have to be what people have said you've been. You don't have to be what people think you are. Like, coming to Southern Miss, you can totally reinvent yourself and be who you truly feel like you are meant to be.
Number 1, Caleb Williams, the senior quarterback for Parkway, all-district point guard for the basketball team, and I think those skills certainly lend themselves to being the QB.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, right? A guy that can make good decisions on the basketball court likely can make good decisions on the football field, and that's why he's your QB, because of his decision-making.
Needs a good decision here. 3rd and 16 on the 48, 4 wide. His top target's been Gary Burney, number 88 at the bottom of your screen. Williams looked cool and calm, but now he breaks out right side. Needs 16 yards, so 4th down coming up.
And they'll go for it, I think. I don't think there's any surprise there. Again, the pressure really wasn't there. The only negative at this point I'm seeing from Williams is I think he's seeing ghosts, right? There's a little bit of a push right up the middle from Jamarin Davis, but not enough to force you out of the pocket. Now, what he did see downfield was green. And so, look, even if there's not pressure, if you see that you can pick up 15 yards, go get it.
Ball spotted on the 37-yard line. They need 6 to move the chains here on 4th down. Can Airline call up another 4th down stop and blunt this momentum? The mighty Vikings fans making themselves heard here at Crown Over Stadium. Three down linemen for Airline. Coming up for a little press coverage is the cornerback, Pierre Watson. Here's 4th and 6. Boy, Williams has all day. Burney gets the push off and can't wrestle this ball away from the defensive back. Jalen Bradley comes up in coverage on 4th down.
Well, you have to have absolute guts of steel on a 4th down to press man against that big boy. And look, perfect trail position. Bradley played that one exactly right. He turned at the right time, knocked it away from Burney, but hey, kudos to Airline. Again, a defensive stop, something they have been sorely lacking all season long.
Vikings will take over at the 37-yard line. .21 remaining in our first half. 7-6 Airline, and the Vikings will look to add to their lead here. Looks like a timeout's going to be called. Let's go down to Steve for more.
Guys, we're seeing something here you don't see very often. He's number 2, Tony Gladney for Parkway. And not only is he number 2, but he's a two-way player. Not only is he a defensive back, a safety, but he's a wide receiver. So in these offenses that are either running down the field to catch passes or running with opposing receivers to cover them, he's got to be a man of steel. Back to you.
He's been a great performer this year. Has over 400 yards receiving and 8 touchdowns. Not bad for a defensive back, Patrick.
By the way, this is 5A, right? 5A, you've got enough roster space. You don't have to play guys both ways. But a guy like Gladney, you don't want him off the field if you can help it. So, sure, play him 2 ways. As long as he can handle it physically and mentally, get him out there, put him on it, get him out there as much as you can.
You do that at the Division I level pretty well, they'll give you a Heisman Trophy. Ask
Correct.
Travis Hunter.
Correct. Or Peyton Manning. You'll get a Heisman Trophy taken away from you because of a guy playing 2 ways.
So the Vikings, after the timeout, looking at 1st and 10 on the 37. Darby. In and out of his hands, and it's deflected. Interception for Parkway. Rayner needs 5 yards, and he's knocked out to save the touchdown, but Rayner with the interception.
I hope that's his mom.
Did you just get a hug from Mom?
No better way to celebrate an interception. By the way, this was a tip pick. I believe underneath it was Millhouse maybe, or Darby. Yeah, so it was tipped initially by Colby Lee, the linebacker, and then at that point it just becomes a turnover drill. So that's the first real mistake that Airline made, and then of course you get the hug at the end. I sincerely hope that's his mom.
The senior comes through with the interception, bulldozing his way towards the end zone, finishing just short as Braxton Black. A touchdown saving tackle by the junior lineman, Dalen Carmouche.
And by the way, worth noting, that's a great hug. By the way, worth noting, they've got a defensive lineman in there as well.
Here's the run by Black. Kemp in there on D-line. Everything going Parkway's way. It took them 2 plays to get back in the end zone after the turnover.
Right, and we talked about possessions. That was the number one thing. Coy Brotherton, find a way to steal possessions. Turnovers were so key. Airline had stolen a couple possessions. They got a turnover, 2 turnovers on downs. Now Parkway steals a possession all the way down inside the 5 and pays it off to retake the lead.
For Braxton Black, his 5th touchdown of the season. Trying to help Parkway remain undefeated and improve to 6-0. They've had back-to-back 5-0 seasons. Williams had a line to the end zone, tosses into the back corner, and Gladney can't come up with it.
Yeah, that's one of those you probably want to go ahead and turn that up and take that in yourself. Touchdown, it's just a bunch of big bodies, right? As we mentioned, even one of your defensive linemen, Nate Kemp, number 0, is out there on your offensive front.
We're going to go down to Steve Schneider with the happiest lady in the stadium.
Guys, I can confirm it was Mom. Rona Rayner, right in front of you.
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so super proud of Peyton. He did a great job.
What's he like when he's not playing football? Does he help out around the house? What kind of kid is he?
No, he does not help around the house, but he's a godly kid, and he's walking in his faith right now, and so I'm super proud.
All right, we got the exclusive right here.
Thank you, Steve.
I mean, it would have been awkward if it wasn't his mom, right? It was somebody else's mom. That would have been a little awkward, but glad she's watching. Oh, what do you know? A short kick.
Peyton Rayner with his 2nd interception of the year, and Airline will take over at the 25.
Yeah, and that's awesome, right? That's one of the things you love about high school football. Mom is literally right in the corner of the end zone. You get the interception, you run in. Maybe that means he won't have to do chores this weekend, right? Maybe he doesn't have to, although apparently from listening to her, maybe he doesn't do his chores enough. But fantastic work by Rayner off the tip drill. That's great concentration, because when the ball gets tipped, you know, football already tends to spin odd ways, but when it gets tipped, it can be really difficult to hold on to. So credit to Rayner, and then turning defense into offense immediately.
Airline was able to turn the ball over on 4th down, marched down the field, and got a 2-yard touchdown run by DJ Allen. This time Allen plows forward for minimal gain. 9:35, make it 9:47 remaining in our first half.
I was looking at the center, J.D. Yates. He was 15 yards down the field engaged with the safety. That is good downfield blocking. Unfortunately for him, his running back was being tackled a yard past the line of scrimmage.
Coach Scoggin told us Yates played a little bit last year, has earned his starting spot. Williams quickly over the middle. Phoenix Padway with the catch. Padway was still up. Actually, Justin Woodfork, the tight end. Woodfork, who goes about 6 foot 200 in his junior season.
That's a good-looking kid right there, too. That's one of those things you find him as much as you can.
Late on defense is Parkway, but they run to the left side, and no big gain. Carried by Matthew Moore that time.
Yeah, Mark Copenhaver, no surprise. Again, the linebacking cores for both of these teams are incredibly stout. Copenhaver, one of the best in the state last year. He's a guy that continues to be the anchor. This is a defense. They want to funnel everything to those linebackers, especially Copenhaver inside, along with Brady Prine. Those are the two guys inside. They want to make plays.
Williams overthrows the intended target, trying to get it to Terrence Hayes. They have not been able to connect on 3 passes tonight.
Yeah, this was a little bit of a miscommunication on the route combination because 2 guys are right in the same spot, basically. You see Darby's right behind him. That's not good spacing. Someone either was supposed to clear out. I think maybe Darby was supposed to continue on long and then the out underneath it. But either way, that's not good spacing. It's drawing extra defenders, especially because Parkway is continuing to double Darby every play.
Little pressure in the backfield. DJ Allen stiff arms one man. This one comes out late. You can hear the whistles. Not the cleanest handoff between Williams and Allen.
This is the old freeze draw. This was Fran, the former A&M coach. Name escapes me for the moment. He used to run this all the time. This was you snap it to the quarterback. He just stands there almost like a Statue of Liberty, then hands it off late.
Dennis Francione.
Thank you, Coach Fran.
That's all I'm good for.
Look, my memory is like Swiss cheese at this point. But yeah, Coach Fran used to run that. The quarterback would stop like he's getting ready to hand the ball off late. Parkway not fooled.
Little gambling here. It's 4th and 13 on their own 40. Williams over the middle, caught! First down, guess who? Kenny Darby.
The hands. I mean, just the hands. Watching him aggressively spear a ball. Watch how his hands pop to the ball. He doesn't wait for it to come to him. He reaches out and spears it. I'd love to know what his hand size is. They have to be large. That's just fantastic work.
He's averaging better than 15 yards a catch in his senior season. I think it's a real mark of his work ethic, how talented he is that Ben Taylor can graduate and your numbers don't dip.
Yeah, well, if anything, the next quarterback is going to be more reliant on his star wide receiver. Ben Taylor had gotten to the point where he could spread the ball where he wanted to because he knew the offense so well.
Drop back for Williams. Long pass, almost a second interception. Dallas locked this time. Let's take another look at Darby's great reel in for first down.
Yeah, just watch the hands, how aggressive his hands are at stabbing the ball. And then good run after the catch as well. Because, by the way, he caught that short of the first down. He needed about a yard when he caught it to make sure he had the first down, so he stayed aggressive and got that extra yard.
Darby this season averaging 140 yards a game, has 6 touchdown catches. He'd love to put Airline back on top here.
And again, haven't seen him run the ball yet. A little surprised.
There's Terrence Hayes with his first pickup right about the 40-yard line, and the junior wideout who goes 5'10", 170. Makes this a much more manageable third down.
And it's funny because I feel like for both offenses, that underneath stuff is available. A lot of press man on the outside, but stuff in the middle more available. And we saw a couple of times that Bernie, had space on the outside.
Little encroachment there by Parkway. I think they're going to get Ravion Poland.
prior to the snap. Offsides on the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Poland gives away a first down.
Least favorite rule in all of high school football. Should not be an automatic offsides penalty once they cross the neutral zone. Make contact or give the free play. I do not like the automatic.
6:20 remaining in the first half. 1st and 10 from the 34. Good handoff in the backfield, and plowing forward is Matthew Moore. Moore came in, 16 rushes, 105 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
And you can see Airline wants a little misdirection, right? That's a counter play. They sort of fake the half pitch to one side and then come back to the right on the counter. It appears that Airline's game plan is to try to get the defense flowing one direction and work against it. You've seen that a couple of times now with Allen at fullback on that counter play.
First time tonight we've seen Phoenix Padway, the 6'1 senior, in the backfield alongside Williams. Over the middle. Needed 8 yards for the first down, but how good has Chase Williams been? Connecting on over 70% of his passes.
Yeah, and I feel like that's available to them if they want it, right? The underneath stuff I think is available. They are going to, Parkway is committed to double teaming Darby. There's a safety over the top of him every single time.
See if they go power here. It's 3rd and 1 from the 25. A little too anxious is Justin Woodfork.
I'm going to guess that was a running play by how aggressively he was run blocking.
See if that changes the game plan from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6.
Now I want to look at something. Look at Darby, number 1 at the bottom of your screen. There are 2 guys on him right now. 9 guys versus 10 guys on the rest of the field, but there are 2 guys standing over the top of Kenneth Darby.
Last year he had 1,700 yards receiving, 24 touchdowns.
Yeah, there you see the safety popping in there. The other 9 have to figure it out if it's not going to number 1.
Little fake, and that's read well by Airline. Was he out of the pocket?
He was neither out of the pocket, nor did the ball get back to the line of scrimmage. Nor was there a receiver in the area. You might be able to claim that the tight end Justin Woodfork was somewhere close, but there was definitely no intent to put the ball anywhere near him. I feel like that's got to be grounding.
Coy Brotherton on the far sideline is certainly calling for it.
And you can see Justin Scoggin right there in the blue hat.
Backing up their call.
Correct. No, I promise. Woodfork was right there. Stayed in the pocket, just ran straight back. And you tell me where the receiver is.
There's Coach Scoggin.
It's Scoggin. There's the flag.
Nice job by the officials to get the correct call.
Intentional grounding on the offense. Also penalty. First
Airline
down.
faithful are not big fans, but it was absolutely the correct call.
So just a loss of down, now 4th and 6. The ball's moved back to the 30. Apologies, that's incorrect. I think they're moving it back to the 45.
Yeah, it's spot of the throw plus loss of down. The hard part for me is the officials figuring out where he was throwing it from. It took you an hour and a half to figure out that it was grounding. Do you remember where he threw it from? But, as you said, good on them to get it right. That is the main thing. And that involves the head referee understanding that he's still in the pocket. It involves the linesman saying, hey, there's no one that was near. And then he oftentimes will have to talk to the back judge to just double check that there was no one. The linesman also has to confirm that the ball didn't get to the line of scrimmage.
Airline has already converted once on 4th down on this drive. They'll have to do it again here. The officials still conferring right around the 35-yard line. 5:01 left in the second quarter. Timeout called by Parkway. So Airline will have a little bit of time to think about this play. But again, who else do you go for? I mean, Kenny Darby's been such a good target tonight. Coming up, our high schools, the LHSAA Network Game of the Week. Next week, Week 6, Church Point at Northwest. Should be an exciting game with a 7 p.m. kickoff on Thursday. Those two teams with quality coaches, quality student athletes. We hope you'll join us on the network again Thursday, 7 p.m. Central.
So, you're Justin Scoggin. I don't know what you draw up from the 44-yard line to get you basically 19 yards. Or, I don't know. I obviously, you mentioned Darby, it's your first look. But again, if you're Parkway has committed to double teaming Darby, and they haven't stopped. There has always been two guys. There's a corner underneath and a safety over the top, and they're only looking at number one.
What you don't want is an incomplete pass right here. You want positive yards even if you don't get the full 20.
And it's interesting, right, that this isn't a punting situation, although we have seen the quick kick already. So don't be surprised if Williams doesn't quick kick again. But this is not, at this point, a typical 1-5A game. This is a low-scoring, somewhat of a defensive slugfest here at 12-7. Airline's defense is playing well. The only touchdown you just gave up was off of an interception return inside the 5. So full field, the Airline defense has played as well as you could possibly expect.
Williams in the shotgun. Needs 20 yards to move the chains. Little pressure. He's flushed from the pocket by Kellen Millhouse. Did he stay in bounds? That could be an incredible run by Airline's QB Williams, but they'll say he stepped out prior to the first down.
Well, and there you go. You'd mentioned it, Garrett, right? Get some positive yardage. This works as basically a 12-yard punt.
Looks like his right foot did step out there around the 40. We'll see where they spot him.
That was close. It was very close.
Parkway is poised to take over at the 36-yard line.
And again, it's with the exception of the one long pass play and one good long run, Parkway's offense has not been that explosive like we've expected. Airline's offense also has not been that explosive, but we knew coming in Parkway's defense was really good. I'm interested to see. Yeah, and again, we're just seeing if he did step out right there. It looked like he did. He was not going to have the first down regardless, even if he stayed in bounds. Copenhaver had him wrapped up. But I'll be interested to see if you might see a little more explosiveness from this Parkway offense.
Handoff in the backfield to Black. Taking off from their own 36. Parkway, one of just 35 remaining undefeated teams in the state of Louisiana, 9 of them in 5A. A couple of those undefeated teams are from North Louisiana, including North DeSoto and Ouachita Parish. Brack goes forward, and looks like Drayton Davis. Davis, the senior tight end, with the carry. Kyron Taylor's had a busy game. He was in on the tackle.
Been very impressed up the middle, Airline, linebacking corps, and even the defensive front. Been very impressed with what I've seen from them so far. No real explosive plays out of the run game for the Panthers.
Here comes Ravion Poland, big number 96 to get on the O-line. They need 3 yards. Here's the third down carry. They're going to finish about a yard shy. Fourth down coming up. Stay with us for halftime. We've got an awesome Pick 6 segment where we take a look at the newest stadium named for Patrick Queen over in Livonia. Should be an awesome segment by our Steve Schneider. Poland is in. Also in is Nate Kemp, 2 big D linemen. They'll try and run behind them for the first down, and I believe they've got it. Black was the carrier there. Boy, if you love fourth down conversions, this is your game.
If you just love beef, I'm a big beef guy. I'm a big barbecue guy. Look, I love beef, and this is two defensive linemen are in there. You've got multiple tight ends in there. Black is already a large running back anyway. Love it.
Play action to Davis. Williams comes out of the pocket and gets tripped up. That was an unlikely tackle. Josh Papillon for Airline. I think you're right. I think there are some times where he doesn't need to exit the pocket.
Well, that time he stood in the pocket for a while and then eventually decided he needed to leave. But again, there was no reason to. Both offensive lines have held up pretty well except when being blitzed.
We have 2 flags on the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. We also have unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. Those will all sit. Read the sign.
Well, the offsetting penalties, the key thing about that is it was a dead ball penalty, so the down counts. So it will be 2nd and long after the sack. There was it was at the top of your screen, but look, he's got all day. It's a 3-man rush. Yeah, you've got one guy at your feet, no need to move, no need to escape. You ran right into a sack at that point. And then right after the play, there were some extracurriculars on the Parkway sideline down the field.
2nd and 14 from the 44. Good downfield blocking, but the defensive line swallows up the tailback. Hard rush there by Tony Gladney.
And again, just trying to find a way to get the ball into Gladney's hands, Darby's hands. You want your playmakers touching it. So far, the interior of the Airline defense is held up.
3rd 9. Williams goes to the air, entered. Oh, in and out of the hands of Jeremiah Epps. That was a bullet of a throw.
And Williams was staring him down the entire way. Never diverted. That you're immediately bringing the safety over. And again, that's one of those things where stealing possessions is so big. It still brings up a 4th and long, but you want to try to find a way to steal possessions.
Parkway has the ball spotted just shy of the 49-yard line. And a timeout has been called with 2:14 remaining. Let's take another man-to-man break. We'll be right back after this.
At Breck Golf, our courses are your courses. A place for family and friends to come together, to enjoy the great outdoors, to work on your swing, or get in the game. It's all just minutes away. With convenient locations around the parish and online tee time bookings, it's easy to find your next hole-in-one with Breck Golf.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
Top-ranked teams in North Louisiana dialed up in a good one here. Parkway with the lead, 12-7, and there's Coach Coy Brotherton arguing his case with our officials.
Yeah, I don't know if he's mad about the offsetting penalties because that where he's pointing is where the extracurricular went on his sideline. There was a wide receiver and a couple of DBs that were getting into it on the sideline. And I think that's probably the crux of his argument. Either that or it was, of course, an uncalled penalty of some kind.
Brotherton and his brother Jason grew up in a football household. Their father, Bob Brotherton, longtime assistant at Houghton High School, coaching football and track. Here's 4th and 9 after the timeout. Williams headed for the end zone, in and out of the hands of the intended target, Gabe Gray. How about Airline? 4 times tonight on 4th down.
Very impressed with the man-to-man defense of Airline on the outside. You're asking your corners to do a lot against these Parkway receivers, and they have been up to the task with the exception of one pass play. And honestly, the play there by Airline, by Pierre Watson, was much more of an adjustment. He didn't really have his head around to see the ball initially, but when the ball got in the hands of the receiver, he immediately raked it out.
All right, Patrick, 2-minute drill, 2:04 remaining. They take over on the 49-yard line.
They're always running the 2-minute drill.
Talking about running, Kenny Darby out of the backfield. Darby, far sideline, stays up, and he's in the end zone. That'll bring the Airline fans to their feet just before the half.
Well, I've been asking, where has Darby been in the run game? 1 carry, 49 yards, and a touchdown is a pretty good average. And you can see the speed, the athleticism, broke a tackle there at the end, so the strength. There's a reason that kid is going high major.
Second extra point attempt by Tinks is up and good. Coach Scoggins said Kenny Darby does everything full speed, and here they are taking a look at the play.
I mean, this is simple. It's just the old USC toss play, right? You just get student body left, and then it's Darby one-on-one against the safety, and guess what? Darby's going to win that every single time. Great blocking downfield. The first time they brought him in the backfield, and he breaks it for 49. That's why Justin Scoggins has started putting him in the backfield, because it's just an easier way to get the ball in his hands. Look, he didn't have to watch. He knows how good it was. He doesn't even need to see it.
Gives his team the lead, 14-12.
And by the way, credit a tremendous kick-out block there by DJ Allen, who was lined up as the fullback. Again, they've lined him up as the fullback a bit, and he's gotten some carries on that little counter play. That time he kicked out the corner. That allowed the alley up the left side. That's Vince Lombardi stuff, right? A seal here, and you go right down the field. That's as easy as it gets.
Sophomore kicker Dylan Johnson on for the kickoff. We've already seen one attempt at an onside kick. That one ends up in the hands of Parkway around the 40-yard line. For the second year running, the LHSAA Network brings you a 1-hour football highlight show that covers the entire state of Louisiana. From Bossier here to the Bayou, Friday night in the booth. We'll make it so you'll watch each Friday night this fall starting at 11 p.m. Make sure to catch the show on the LHSAA Network live channel or watch it live on the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network. Steve Schneider back in action on Friday night in the booth. Plenty to talk about with this game for sure.
So you were saying just a moment ago about 2-minute offense, right? Well, that was about a 16-second play. I don't even know if it took that long. I don't think he probably runs a 16-second 49, but just my guess. Now it's up to Parkway to run their 2-minute offense. Now it's starting to feel like a 1-5A game here. I like this.
Panthers have it at the 39. Williams off the right side. He's got some room to run. He's about 2 yards shy of midfield.
I think that was a one-man rush, two-man rush. They didn't bring anyone. And again, he could have stood in the pocket as long as he wanted to, but with everyone dropping so deep to prevent the big play, you see 10 yards at this point, 8 yards in front of you. Go get it.
Again, Williams missed like the majority of last season. Week 4 ended up with a catastrophic injury. He has come back and kept this team in contention. Quick pass up to the midfield, could end up being a tackle for loss. Braylon Jackson with the stop.
Again, the linebacking core for Airline has been absolutely, I want to say perfect. No one's perfect, but they have been so solid. Look at that great tackle. Almost gave it up, but held on, got the stop. It did get the first down, which is what Parkway wanted.
Third down. Williams trying to move the chains. Catch is made by Bernie, but he's short of the marker.
It was actually first down. The yard marker they didn't change the yard marker over from third down.
I'll tell you what, we're getting a lot of help here tonight. This is the first game where the scoreboard is actually done down in distance. Happy that they're doing that here at Crown Over Stadium. Max protect here. They don't want to let any guys in. Williams from the 45-yard line. In and out of the hands of the intended target. Trying to get it over to Tony Gladney on the far sideline.
Yeah, it's an out and up. An out and up is great against man defense. Airline wasn't playing man defense. They're playing zone. See the safety's just rocking back. So Gladney runs the out and then turns it up. If it's a great ball, it's a catch and inbounds. But again, that was not a man defense.
3rd down and 4. A.J. Johnson with the handoff. Johnson slicing through defenders, and that's enough with the spot to move the chains.
And again, big guys from the defensive front, 3 of them were out there. You had Ravion Poland, you had Roderick Johnson, and you had Nate Kemp, all defensive linemen that were out there for that play.
Now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 45. Over the middle, into the slot, caught! The turn up the field is good for Josh Coleman. He's got 2 scores tonight. $55 yards, 45 yards. What an unbelievable run there after the contact by Josh Coleman.
Yeah, that's just terrific balance. Easy little pitch and catch. Everyone was wide. They just run him across the middle. It was one-on-one. If you make the catch and make a man miss, it's easy. And then, of course, you'll go for 2 here momentarily, but Parkway takes the timeout first. Again, plenty of time, only a 3-man rush. Good job watching it develop, and then that's just really bad form by Desmian Curry to come in and try to just lay a big hit as opposed to wrapping up. And then it was off to the races for 39, just easy as can be. That is what the last 2 drives are kind of what, last 3 drives really, are kind of what we've expected from this 1-5A matchup. I actually had my dad text me earlier, said, how many points have they scored out there? I said 19. We're not exactly in 1-5A territory yet, but they've caught up quickly.
The senior wideout, Josh Coleman, doubles his output, came in with 2 touchdowns. He's got 2 on the evening. 1 for 17 yards, another for 45, and back out for the 2-point conversion. Coach Scoggin looks a little animated out there. We talked about a 2-minute drill. These 2 teams have combined to score in about a minute and a half a pair of touchdowns.
Well, he was mad about a couple of plays ago on the 3rd and 4 that they got with the big lineup. I don't know if he was upset that they didn't have a chance to sub. I'm not sure what he was upset about, but he was mad when that play was run. Right after that play, he was in the ear of the officials. So much like we saw from Coy Brotherton earlier, I think this is going back a little ways.
Parkway on the season now 9 of 13 on 2-point conversions. Whistle blows. Let's see. This should be on Airline. The big man, Rod Johnson, is in on the far left line from the D-line, adding a little protection.
Yeah, it was an offsides call. Someone jumped for Airline. Again, beefy package, right? 98, Roderick Johnson, 96, Ravion Poland, 0. Nate Kemp, again, your defensive lineman wearing 0. All of those guys are in there.
A.J. Johnson had a nice run to move the chains on 1st down. Play clock down to 6. Johnson stays up, tries to fall forward, waiting on the call by the official. And it looks like they're in the end zone. Johnson with the 2-point conversion, their first of the night.
Yeah, I'm with you. No one actually signaled. I never saw anyone signal that make the touchdown signal. Everyone knew they were in, and everyone was cheering and running off the field, but I didn't see the first official make the touchdown sign. But again, that's just a lot of 3 defensive linemen are in, 5 offensive linemen. If you figure in high school, your average offensive lineman in 5A is about 250, right? And you add a couple of 3 defensive linemen in there, that's almost 2,000 pounds right there, right? That's basically a ton. I hope they call that the ton formation.
It's been effective for Parkway here. They take the lead back.
Yeah, converted the 3rd and 4 on that drive with the one-ton formation.
Here's a better look from overhead.
Yeah, what are you going to do? You did a great job of almost getting the stop. With all those bodies coming at you, I don't know what you do.
Nice second effort by A.J. Johnson. 40 seconds remain here in the first half. Kickoff to the 30-yard line. Nice coverage on kickoff teams by Parkway, and they've got a bunch of momentum here heading into the half. Terrence Hayes, the wide receiver.
I did like the everyone run towards the ball and then stop feint that they did. That was quality. And again, both of these teams onside kick with regularity. This is not anything strange to see. But this is more what we expected in this 1-5A matchup right here. 19 points was unacceptable. 34, getting there.
Yeah, I think the officials wanted to run the clock down a little bit. They're at 34.5 seconds. Airline will take over at the 30-yard line, and guess who? Kenneth Darby is back deep at the 20. Pitch out to Darby. They couldn't seal the block up to the 35-yard line.
And the crazy thing about that formation is Darby is, 25 yards deep in the eye. He's so deep back there. When he gets the pitch, it's 12 yards to get to the line of scrimmage.
Nobody really lined up for Parkway on defense. Airline does not take advantage. 12 seconds left here. Tackle made. The ball was down by contact.
Well,
tempers flaring as Dallas Locke picks up the ball.
The clock also ran. That was a first down. And so the clock obviously is supposed to stop on a first down. The clock ran for about 8 seconds at least 8 seconds after that first down was gotten. It now says 2 seconds.
Again, ball at the 40-yard line, way too deep for a Hail Mary.
Yeah, and the clock's going to run out anyway.
That's your first half. And what a show in the final 2 minutes of play. Alternating touchdowns. Airline took the lead, and then Parkway here at home took it right back. We saw both coaches a little animated, Patrick, on their respective sidelines. It'll be interesting to hear from Coach Brotherton how he thought the first 20 minutes of play went down.
Yeah, shockingly, coaches aren't fond of what the referees are doing. That's the first I've heard of it. And as usual, both coaches. And look, this is, again, a high-stakes matchup. Airline trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak. Parkway trying to stay unbeaten. It is massive stakes for both of these guys in 1-5A.
Let's go down to Steve with our coach.
Coy Brotherton with me. You rallied to get the lead there. This has been very heated in a lot of ways.
It has. It hasn't been a clean football game from anybody involved right now, and it's getting the best of them. I see Coach walking off the field, giving the refs their full, and rightfully so.
Williams and Coleman started out that way and finished strong in this half.
That's right. Josh is the guy that didn't even start for. Started on defense. Actually came in. He's only played about 3 plays, and he wasn't the first option there. So on both of those touchdowns there, man, he's just a senior making plays. Proud of him because he's worked for this moment.
How about your defense on Kenneth Darby? You've frustrated him.
Well, he got loose there at the end for that long touchdown, and he's phenomenal, man. He's made 2 heck of 4th down catches, and LSU's getting a good one. He's a handful.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back up to you guys.
Great stuff, Steve. Hopefully the second half just as entertaining or more. Kenneth Darby off to the races to put Airline back in this one. Halftime rolls here at Crown Over Stadium when we return on the LHSAA Network Game of the Week.
At Breck Golf, our courses are your courses. A place for family and friends to come together to enjoy the great outdoors, to work on your swing, or get in the game. It's all just minutes away. With convenient locations around the parish and online tee time bookings, it's easy to find your next hole-in-one with Breck Golf.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.
A beautiful night in Bossier Parish. Airline trailing Parkway 20-14. We're at halftime. Now a chance for the LHSAA Network to show off a little bit. Our Spencer Verrett with the Pick 6 feature on Patrick Queen and the new stadium named after him. Let's take a look at our Pick 6.
Livonia High School legend Patrick Queen will forever have his name reside over the stadium the Wildcats play in. Livonia taking the time to bestow the honor upon Queen, who won a state championship in football, a national championship for the LSU Tigers, and now plays in the NFL for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Queen.
You could see the look on everybody's face here, whether they were in the stadium, whether they were sitting in the chairs over here, look of gratitude towards Patrick, but also how proud everybody was of him, of the person he is and has become, and the fact that he didn't forget home, man. It's an awesome thing to be a part of.
Queen coached by two great coaches in David Brewerton and Guy Mistretta. Brewerton, now at Zachary, and Mistretta at Dutchtown, recounted the first memories of coaching Queen. The Wildcats capturing a state championship in the first year under Mistretta after finishing runner-up under Brewerton the year prior.
No, I really don't, because he was in baseball when we started. So it was everybody else that was out there. But I do remember the first time I started watching film, and I'm trying to figure out who's returning for the next year, right? Because I did watch them in the Dome that year when they finished second. So I got the film from Brew, and I started watching them, and I'm jotting down numbers. I said, who?
Just always changing positions. Trying to master every single thing on the field, but they instill a lot of things. Trying to master every single thing on the field, but they instill a lot of things in me that I still use to this day. So I'm forever thankful for them.
Queen recounting the chase to get back
to this day. So I'm forever thankful for them.
Queen recounting the chase to get back to the Dome and be a big part of the Wildcats' success that season.
Yeah,
big part of the Wildcats' success that season.
Yeah, that just comes from me growing up and watching people that came before me, like Russell, Darius, all those guys that was just extremely good at football.
For the Wildcats.
It's a different type of football,
For the Wildcats.
It's a different type of football, when you come down and play a team like this, you know what it's going to be. A whole lot of hard football, hard-nosed football. We don't have the same stuff that everybody else has to be able to, put our best performances out there. So we got to get it out the mud, literally, in the field. So it's just a different type of football here. Everybody know everybody. Everybody loves it. Everybody comes out. The whole town gets shut down, and we go out there and play football.
Reporting for the LHSAA Network, I'm Spencer Verrett.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, We know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
When looking for college, I wanted somewhere that would push me and allow me to kind of be the person I'd always wanted to be.
Everyone here kind of has this mindset of seeing the next person succeed, and I think that just creates a Southern Miss spirit.
You find what you need out of Southern Miss. What I need isn't what another student needs, but we all find something here.
You don't have to be what people have said you've been. You don't have to be what people think you are. Like, coming to Southern Miss, you can totally reinvent yourself and be who you truly feel like you are meant to be.
So it's going to come. Can they do it? Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play!
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard. Part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
Time here at Crownover Stadium, Parkway, with a 20-14 advantage over the Airline Vikings. That was a great feature by Spencer Verrett on the All-State player and 3A state champion Patrick Queen, who just had the stadium named after him over in Livonia. Now we'll take a look at this week's Pick Six, brought to us by Steve Schneider.
Pick number one is number one for the state's number one team, Edna Carr. John Johnson III, Hollywood, producing 5 of the 6 touchdowns in the Cougars' rout of doing damage on the scoreboard themselves with the scoop and scores from Cameron Robinson and Tyree Burton. And pick number 4 has been a regular Pick 6 participant. He wears number 4 for the St. James Wildcats, who were tied with unbeaten St. Charles Catholic in the final seconds.
5 seconds left, and here's Jackson. He'll go to the end zone, filling over and deflected. And touchdown! Touchdown! Filling over at the gun. St. James wins it.
Kai Villanova, a juggling game winner for the black and gold, 35-28. The pick 5 goes to quarterbacks with eye-popping numbers. Dutchtown's Owen Fletcher leading his Griffins past Sanamaw with 240 yards rushing, 35-28 in that one too. And another number 8 had 8 touchdowns. Bryce Restovich of Loyola Prep had a school record 513 passing yards. The Pilots trailed Minden 41-38, winning 71-48. Pick number 6 going to number 6, Rummel Jr. running back Jaden Terrence, who scored 3 TDs. This one spanning 83 yards in a rout of Brother Martin. And just for good measure, the Raiders defense would also add some picks to fill out their Pick 6 profile, including one from senior DB Chris Parker Jr. early and junior linebacker Bryce Hingle later on with the tip drill. This is Steve Schneider, and that's a wrap on the Week 5 Pick 6.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
The start of school means the start of new sports seasons, which unfortunately can mean injuries. Too often, sports injuries are treated with opioids, leading to addiction among our youth. And drug addictions can cause overdoses and deaths. If you're injured, ask your doctor for medicines and therapies that don't use opioids. And if you're struggling with opioid addiction, we can offer treatment. Opioid addiction is a losing game. You can help. Learn more at realhelpvr.com. That's realhelpvr.com.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
A touchdown separate these two giants in North Louisiana. Parkway with the 20-14 lead. The pride of the Pantherland band just entertained everyone here at halftime. Welcome up. We are across the field from the press box here at Crown Over Stadium. Patrick Netherton, Garrett Walbert. It's been a great game so far. Parkway has always seemed to have an answer, but the defense for Airline has really stood tall in this game.
Yeah, I've been a little bit surprised at how well Airline's played. As we heard Coy Brotherton talk about, it's a game of possessions, right? Points per possession. And Airline's done a terrific job of that. The biggest play of this game was the tip pick that goes down inside the 5, gives Parkway basically a free touchdown. That, to me, is the difference in the game. Neither of these offenses doing a lot what we expected. We kind of expected more points, not quite as many as we were thinking, but wouldn't be surprised after halftime adjustments to see the offenses really kick in.
Williams to Bernie had a huge play to start our ballgame. Let's take a look at our first half.
To see that happen, and then the final play, a bad tackle attempt there, and Coleman able to take advantage for his second touchdown. Look, Coleman's been the man over the middle. All of the attention paid on the outside with Darby and with Gary Burney for Parkway. No surprise that the middles would be open.
Patrick, let's take a look at our first half stats brought to you by Coca-Cola. The total yardage goes to Parkway, but Airline's done a nice job of running the ball.
Yeah, and surprising that Parkway has the yardage advantage considering the fact they had a 3-yard drive basically at one point. But the rushing yards for Airline, that's something to keep an eye on. If Airline's able to continue to run the ball, they will have great success because, again, this is a new quarterback that they're having to break in. It's not Ben Taylor, who was there for 4 years. So this means it's a more run game reliant Vikings team.
Let's go down for more with Steve on the sideline.
Guys, I talked to Justin Scoggin, what his thoughts were, what he told his team. Hey, guys, we've been here before. This is nothing new. Let's play great in the second half. I also mentioned to him that
We've already seen that twice in the game now. Will they potentially put this high in the air to Kenny Darby back at the 10-yard line? We would think not. Second half is underway here at Crown Over Stadium. Ball's muffed, recovered, and there's an easy knockdown. That could have been really troublesome for Airline.
What's interesting, it was an immediate call for fair catch. And not shockingly, you don't kick it anywhere near Kenneth Darby. Just don't even think about it. We saw what he did on his first touch as a running back. You've seen his hands on a couple of different occasions, especially that fourth down going across the middle. You just don't want to mess with that if you can help it.
Chase Williams has been good tonight, but his counterpart has been better. Caleb Williams, 2 passing touchdowns tonight. For Airline, they've scored twice on the ground. Let's see if they can get going airborne here against Parkway's defense. They'll start off on the 24-yard line. Quick little pressure release valve. The pass to DJ Allen. Not a lot of positive yards there.
You know, we talked about early in the first half that Airline and Justin Scoggin are a very big around the line of scrimmage passing team. We saw one jet sweep, which honestly I expected to see more than that in the first half. A lot of swing passes, a lot of things around, within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Scoggin is a big believer in getting the ball out to his playmakers and letting them go, which is why you've seen over the last couple of weeks them putting Darby in the backfield.
Darby, bottom of your screen, he's fronted by Peyton Rayner, who already has an interception tonight.
And always a safety over the top.
Tony Gladney, number 2. Williams on 2nd and 8. Averages 6 yards a rush, evades one linebacker, and comes down hard at about the 35. He got by Ravion Poland and moves the chains.
Well, and again, both quarterbacks, very good feet. The ability to get out and run if they need to. He saw the rush coming up the middle, probably left. He maybe could have held in a moment, but if something's not open, both of these coaches, I promise you, have told their quarterbacks, if you don't see anything open, first, second read, get out of there.
1st and 10 from the 35. Parkway looks to be well rested coming out of that timeout.
Yeah, so again, that's the same play we saw them have really good success on with DJ Allen earlier in the game where they lined him up at fullback. This time they went Darby as the tailback for that window dressing, the eye candy. Good on Parkway's defense that they were not fooled by it. Copenhaver and his crew, the linebacking core, were there. They were not fooled by the fact that one was in the backfield. Now they line him up as a slot receiver at the bottom.
2nd and 7 from the 38.
Addicts for him aren't very complicated either. It's student body left, it's student body right. And there you go. Just, again, student body left, right? It's the old John Robinson USC play. Just get everybody moving left, take the fullback out there with you, let him kick somebody out. It's basically just ISO football, old school I formation. Things you don't see in almost any ranks of football anymore.
2nd down and 10. A little reverse to Darby. Turns the corner. He's 11 yards into the end zone. 2nd rushing touchdown of the night for Kenny Darby.
I'll be interested to see. That might be a passing touchdown. It'll be interesting to see if it was thrown forward or not. But this is what Airline loves. I mentioned I thought I'd see more jet sweep action in the first half. This is the kind of stuff they do that they are incredibly effective at. And obviously, anytime you get Darby in space, you like it. That time, a little misdirection. Flow going right to start. Darby coming back left. And all of that Steve talked about at halftime with Darby being a little frustrated on the sidelines, Justin Scoggin knows to feed his number 1 guy.
Offsides by Cam Hines of Parkway.
So you get the half the distance to the goal, go ahead and go for it. Although I'll be honest with you, I'd rather go up by a point than attempt a 2-point conversion.
Kenny Darby comes back into the game, scores his 2nd touchdown of the night to tie us at 20. DJ Allen serving as a fullback. Allen trying to break the goal line, give the assist. Airline fans are up on their feet clapping like Williams is in the end zone. Was waiting to see any move by the official. The scoreboard shows 22-20 Airline.
Finally, the head referee gave us the good symbol. None of the officials on the line gave us the symbol. Yeah, see the move the quarterback back. Yeah, that's a pass. That's a passing touchdown, another receiving touchdown for Darby. And again, they love that pop pass. The ability to run that play. And the key to that particular play is that if that pass is thrown and it is dropped, it is not a fumble, it is an incomplete pass. So instead of the handoff to the back who may fumble it with the exchange, especially if it's a receiver who's not used to getting that play, then it's a fumble. If not, you throw it forward, it becomes a complete or an incomplete pass. If you'd like a little history on that, Bob Stitt from the Colorado School of Mines is who created that play. Gave it to Dana Holgerson.
I've heard of him.
Yes, Dana Holgerson you've heard of. Dana Holgerson ran it in one of West Virginia's bowl games and scored 70 because the defense had never seen it before.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can credit Bob Stitt.
Ball's down on the turf, but recovered by Parkway. They'll have nice field position north of the 40-yard line. Damian DeCal comes up with that one, the sophomore tailback for Coach Brotherton.
Yeah, I like having him in the middle, right? Everyone knows both teams are on-siding. So far we've seen Airline kicking short, pooch kicks, sky kicks, that sort of thing. Airline is kicking it onside, Parkway's kicking pooch kicks. Everybody's doing a little something different in the special teams game, and so both teams are ready for that.
Third lead of the night for Airline, up by 2. Caleb Williams back out. We'll start this drive at the 41-yard line of Parkway. 2 wide, top of your screen. This time, though, it's a handoff. Met hard in the backfield, and Gladney is smothered. How many times tonight have we called Kyron Taylor's name?
Yeah, again, the linebacking core, and I keep mentioning both teams. Both linebacking cores are playing incredibly well. It's key on that play that Jamirian Davis holds up, right? He collects a blocker, and that allows the play made by the linebacking core.
Gladney cuts left, then right into the line. Third down coming up and long.
And again, Dre Garner, who's technically a linebacker, though he's really more of a hybrid defensive end type in this defense, this 3-4 style defense. But again, the guys that are playing the middle and the outside for both teams really doing a fantastic job.
3rd and 8. Williams checks the field, heaves it deep. This one to Burney. It's caught, and he goes the distance. Gary Burney, his second long touchdown of the night. 57 yards to the house.
Well, this was a tremendous no call by the official because Airline held at the beginning of the route and then a bit of a push off as the separation happened for Burney. You could have very easily, and look, Justin Scoggin is mad because there was an arm extension at the end of the route by Burney to get free, but they could have easily called the hold to start with. So that was a let them play type of situation. So we've had, 4 scores in the last 5 possessions now? Yeah, this is what we expected when we walked in here to Preston Crownover. So obviously this is against Airline.
We'll hear from Keith Burton momentarily.
Keith Burton, very veteran official.
After the play, given sportsmanlike conduct on defense, number 4. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
And again, key that it's on the dead ball. Now you won't see the pull to start. You'll see the push off. Well, you won't see the push off either. Nice job, good concentration holding on to it by Burney. But yeah, Burney was held to start, then pushed off late. It all results in a beautiful touchdown throw.
His 10th touchdown catch of 2025. Burney averaging better than 16 yards a catch. Those numbers are going up tonight. 2-point conversion. Chance for him to take it himself.
Just a really good flood concept or a levels concept.
And so the previous penalty on the last play will be assessed on the kickoff.
Now do you kick off deep? They haven't yet. I mean, now a sky kick gets it inside the 20-yard line. But we also haven't seen Christian Jefferson go back this deep.
Jefferson will get the trotting start. Kicks us into the far corner. And the ball will be out of play.
So he called for the fair catch but didn't make the fair catch. And so Airline starts inside the 10-yard line. This reminds me of back in the day when I would play. It was an easy undercut and a 12-yard return. It was an easy undercut and a 12-yard return. That's as easy as it gets for Colby Lee. And again, you have to, and one of the things we talked about coming in, right? Parkway's defense has been the story. They're, of all of the teams in 1-5A, they're probably the one that has the most potent defense. They will come after you. They will get after it defensively, unlike anyone else in this district. And they're showing it there. An interception inside the 5. They could have very easily had 2 pick sixes in this game.
Airline needs to be disciplined here. Twice during a 2-point conversion, they have given them half the distance to the goal line on a flag. Parkway is converted on their last 2-point conversions.
We've all woken up with those in the middle of the night. But yeah, just stretching that out. Get some pickle juice in him, and he'll be right back in.
You got that in your fridge?
I love pickles. I have a huge jar of pickles in my fridge. I've never just drank the juice for any reason.
Nothing to like top off a cocktail with a little?
No, it's, I just drink Diet Coke, and Diet Coke and pickle garnish on a Diet Coke just isn't the thing, really.
It's good to see Gladney getting a little hydration and walking off.
Yeah, you see that left leg. It's you can tell that the flat foot, trying to keep that thing extended and stretched out. It's honestly not particularly warm here tonight. There's a little bit of humidity in the air, but it's pretty pleasant out here.
So a 14-point swing in favor of the Parkway Panthers. Down catch to start the second quarter. They'll start off at the 20-yard line. There's Darby. They're going to him more often, and a flag flies as he gets over the 20.
Looks like a hold on the offense. Usually it's thrown right in the middle of the offensive line. You feel good about that. What you don't feel good about is what's on the field right now.
The senior wideout, Darby, laying over the 20-yard
Personal
line.
Foul, face mask, defense,
was not a hold.
15-yard penalty, first down.
Let's take a look for the face mask.
Making a tackle 8 yards downfield. Look at Big Kemp. Again, love a defensive lineman wearing 0. Also love a defensive lineman with that kind of effort to chase down a tailback from behind.
Kenny Darby back in the game, far left of your screen. It's a fake to him. This time they give to DJ Allen, and he's going nowhere fast. Dallas Locks feeling good.
Yeah, and you saw there's some definite emotion in this game. A lot of blocks to the proverbial echo of the whistle.
There you go.
Good on the officials for letting a lot of it go. Knowing that there's emotion in this game. Again, this is North Bossier versus South Bossier. Cross I-20, man, everything, all bets are off.
That up, Patrick.
Well, it's interesting, right? Parkway bringing up all their safeties.
That up, Patrick.
Well, it's interesting, right? Parkway bringing up all their safeties at the line of scrimmage, playing severe press, bump and run. So what do? You let your fullback leak out. Both linebackers come to blitz. You let your fullback leak out. Both linebackers come to blitz. Nobody goes with him. If he catches that, it's maybe a touchdown, maybe it isn't, but it's a huge gain either way. That's really, again, great schematics to put Allen at fullback because it is so difficult for opposing defenses to account for a fullback. In their passing game. You don't do it. You typically expect the fullback to stay in and block. You don't expect him to game. You don't do it. You typically expect the fullback to stay in and block. You don't expect him to release out to the flat and be the primary receiver.
Darby lined up like a tight end. He's going over the middle. Now comes down to the right. Long pass into double coverage. This one's reeled in by Preston Hughes. Looking for the spot of the official.
I mean, this is just go get it. It came off of the result of a penalty. He didn't have to.
It's a fake to Darby. This time they give to Allen. Allen left side trying to power over that big line of Carmouche and Thrash, but a flag flies. It's right there at the spot. Thrash, but a flag flies. It's right there at the spot. Looks like this will be against Parkway. Both teams with just 3 penalties through the first 2 quarters of play.
Wow, face mask. 50.
That ball was thrown through a bit of traffic, and he came up with it.
Yeah, that's a
Terrence Hayes.
Yeah, that's an odd play. You fake that little fullback that you've been running the whole time, and that's nearly intercepted by Peyton Rayner. It would have been his second.
At the 1-yard line, they'll smash into the end zone, and Airline cuts the lead. Chase Williams cuts it to 6. Williams with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. Couldn't have come at a better time. The Vikings with as many touchdowns in this quarter as they had in the first half. The extra point is up. They say it's good. And a 5-point advantage now for Parkway. Here's another look at the touchdown, Patrick.
Yeah, it's just a tush-push. There's nothing to it. Everyone's doing it these days. Really, the key for that play, more than anything, is the strength of your quarterback. And Chase Williams showing off the strength in his legs.
And our next game on the LHSAA Network Game of the Week will be Church Point at Northwest. Church Point undefeated in district. They're 4-1 on the year. Northwest also undefeated in district play. They match up next Thursday at 7 p.m.
I like that logo, Church Point logo. It's very, very sharp.
2.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Thank you to Steve Schneider as the clock is out on the scoreboard here at Crown Over Stadium. Best sideline reporter in the business.
Well, sometimes you got to be a clock operator while you're down there too. It happens.
Deep breath for Airline's kickoff team. They're going for the onside kick. It's got to go 10 yards, and it looks like they fell on it at midfield. Oh, a huge turnover in events. Now the officials are ruling it didn't go 10 yards.
Yeah, where the officials are spotting it is 9.5 yards.
Oh boy.
But it looked like he waited for it to cross the midfield stripe. Here's the other problem. There's not a midfield stripe. So he's in the middle of the P.
Here's Bernie.
Just got to get to that. Oh, it just has to. So see, there's no stripe at the 50-yard line. He's waiting. He's waiting.
Oh.
I think he got it.
And it wasn't touched by a Parkway player beforehand. I think whoever designed the field turf design at midfield 2 years ago just paid something off for Parkway.
Absolutely. There was, you can't see the stripe if you're the kicking team at that point.
Beside with a quick man-to-man break. Less than a minute. (34-28) Parkway with the lead.
So you had mentioned that sometimes as a sideline reporter you have to be a clock operator. Sometimes as the play-by-play guy you have to be the clock scoreboard for the fans. Had several people turn around and ask Garrett during that quick break what the time was on the clock. So good on you for helping out the airline folks.
We all need to be in the know.
I agree.
This is District 1 5A. 34-29 is your score in the 3rd quarter. Parkway has it on Airline's 29-yard line. They've gotten a couple of really nice runs by A.J. Johnson. Johnson riding sidecar right now to Caleb Williams. Williams towards the end zone, just past the outstretched hands of Gabe Gray.
Now that's a touchdown. Just put a little air under it. It's not one you have to laser. That's one you can float out there. Great concept. Again, it was one receiver cutting in, second receiver running deep. You see the safety stops in, and the safety immediately goes in with Gladney. That easily leaves Gray alone.
Now 3rd and 6. They'll give it to the bell cow, Braxton Black. Black pushed back at the 25-yard line.
Now that's a run when you know you're going for it on 4th down.
Minute and a half left in the quarter. And another player down for Airline, lying face down. Hate to see that. That's Max Moore, the junior. Quick break here, man-to-man. Stay with us.
So it's going to come down to this.
Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play!
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
It has been an awesome environment tonight down in Bossier Parish. Let's go down on the sidelines for more with Steve.
Guys, it's not just competition on the field with the players. The student section for Airline, the band for Parkway. When I was here 2 years ago, they made so much noise, the offenses couldn't figure out what they were doing. It literally stopped the game, but it's legal. The LHSA has no rules about noise stopping play.
Could have been a false start by Parkway. 2 players still fighting for possession of the ball down on the 25-yard line, waiting for a call by the officials, but this might be Airline ball.
Well, either way, it's Airline ball because it was 4th down and 2, so no matter what happened, yeah, it looked like center moved early. No one else moved, ball popped out. Obviously, it's going the other way. Another turnover on downs forced by the Airline defense. It is crazy to consider the fact that Airline is losing in this game with how many stops they've gotten defensively.
5 of them have come on 4th down.
But at the Evangel game 2 weeks ago, over at Evangel, Airline had a pick 6. They scored on a pick 6. They got an interception in the end zone. They recovered a muffed punt. They recovered an onside kick, and they lost.
Kenneth Darby takes the pitch, moves forward.
Not Darby. Again, they're doubling Darby on every single play. Of course, Airline responds by putting him in the backfield.
1st and 10 from the 40. Time running out in the 3rd quarter. Williams hands off to DJ Allen. That might be the final play of the 3rd quarter.
Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.
Justin Scoggin and the Airline Vikings trying to hang the first loss of the season on undefeated Parkway. They trail 34-29.
Yeah, this was 12-7 at the end of the first quarter, and I was very disappointed in my 1-5A up here. That was not the showing we were looking for. Now this feels a little bit more like a 1-5A game, although neither team has hit 40 yet, so we're not quite there yet. And I feel for Scoggin, right? I mean, this is a guy who undefeated in the regular season last year, had a tremendous team. We talked about Ben Taylor at quarterback, and a guy who is facing the second 3-game losing streak of his career, the first since he lost the first 3 games of his head coaching career at Airline.
They ended up beating Captain Shreve in the highest scoring LHSAA game of the year.
The exact same play. The difference is the back dropped it. It was actually thrown to Allen the first go-around. He dropped it. Parkway has now seen it and adjusted to it because they put 4 guys out there. Previously, they only had 3.
Chase Williams with the pitch to Kenny Darby, who's gotten more involved from the backfield tonight. Brought down on that Parkway logo at midfield.
Yeah, we were wondering, it took until right before halftime for them to put him in the backfield. His first play was a 49-yard run for a touchdown. So no surprise to get him more involved. It's interesting, they're running what Evangel used to run way back in the day when they had, you may remember Jacob Hester. When Hester was the tailback, they would line him up in the eye, and it was, the eye back is 9 yards deep. This time just get him on the pop pass.
There's a flag that comes in. Darby, though, lays a lick at the end of his run and gets a little elbow in the back. Some extracurriculars here. Kellen Millhouse just defending his teammate.
And again, that pop pass, if he drops it, it's an incompletion. It's not a risky play. Good seal on the inside, good block out on the outside. And showing off a little bit of that power as well.
Face mask call.
Again, defensive face masks on the interior of the line. That is, 3, 4, 5 of those that we've seen so far. I've never seen so many face masks on the interior of the defensive line as I've seen tonight.
Dallas Locke, the sophomore defensive back, down on the turf in front of Airline's sideline.
Yeah, he took a big hit from Darby. Darby laying the shoulder to him.
Patrick, let's take another look here.
Yeah, number 3 right there. You can see him tracking. Kind of looked like he got his ankle rolled underneath. Oh, there it was. Okay, at the end, it's friendly fire. His own teammate rolled over the top of him on the sideline. That was really had nothing to do with the play that was involved. And those are the ones that are unfortunate. You survive the big hit, you're fine there, and then a guy's just rolling out of bounds and rolls up on you. Hopefully nothing more than just a sprained ankle.
This could be a tough loss for Parkway's secondary. He's been starting as an underclassman lock. 3rd most tackles on the team coming into tonight's game. Nice show of sportsmanship as he heads back to his sideline. Darby got the first down and moved the ball up to the 18-yard line for Airline.
And again, that deep, yeah, see, this is what we're talking about. Interior defensive line face masking. Again, we've seen 4 or 5 of those, trying to see what the defense would react to. This is the kind of stuff he wants.
Under 10 minutes left in the 4th, 2nd and 7 from the 15. Williams to the corner of the end zone, all alone for the touchdown. The running back, Matthew Moore. And Airline's back on top.
This is such a good play design. Everything drawing your attention back to the right. And that allows Moore the opportunity to slip right out and get to the corner of the end zone. Again, brilliant play design, fooling the linebackers. Justin Scoggin has found something with those running backs out of the backfield.
Max Tinkus to make it a 2-point lead, and he does. 2nd touchdown pass of the night for Chase Dion Williams, and that one 15 yards into the corner of the end zone had everybody fooled.
Yeah, and again, it's the fullback that is the one who catches the pass. So He's lined up at fullback to start. There you see him slip 3 right there. Neither linebacker goes with him. Again, as a defender, as a linebacker, and then of course you got to be careful when you're on concrete and have spikes on. You always have to be careful with that. But as a linebacker, you are not pre-programmed to look at a fullback as a weapon in the backfield, right? You're designed to look at him as a blocker. So as soon as the fullback comes up like he's going to block, as a linebacker, you're gone. You're headed right towards the quarterback. You're ready to engage. And then it's a stutter step, and then boom, right into the back of the end zone for more. Again, twice now, Justin Scoggin has fooled the Parkway linebackers with a fullback out of the backfield who's not actually a fullback.
Matthew Moore comes down with his first touchdown catch of the season. Had come in with 8 catches for 54 yards. Burney gets into this one. It's deep and into the end zone. Touchback.
Now you found out my other least favorite rule in high school football. That is the automatic touchback when the ball goes in the end zone.
That could have been very interesting.
Yeah. Make them bring it out.
So Parkway trailing by 2 to Airline. Let's take a look at a little bit of royalty for Parkway. Some of their proud graduates include Terrace Marshall, second-round NFL draft pick, former national champion with LSU. How about Eric Brown and Seth Lugo of Major League Baseball fame? They prepped at Parkway. And the 2-time Gatorade Girls Basketball Player of the Year, Michaela Williams, called Parkway home. Finished as a state champ and the school's all-time leading scorer.
And oh, by the way, her brother is the quarterback.
Pretty good one.
While you're at it, not bad, not bad. Pretty athletic genes. I've never seen a better mid-range game than Michaela Williams.
Yeah, she's a matchup headache for a lot of teams. Williams will roll.
Legal formation. Number 88, red. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So an illegal formation. Backed up to their own 15-yard line. Williams facing pressure, and the release valve is good. Into the hands of A.J. Johnson coming out of the backfield. Johnson's across midfield.
Well, I've been lauding how good the linebackers have played for both sides. The one weakness on both sides now is backs out of the backfield. You fake to him, look, the linebackers ignore him at that point. Same thing that you just saw on the other end for the touchdown for Airline. No one goes with the running back out of the backfield.
36 yards on the pickup. Johnson moved the chains. And then we haven't called his name too much tonight, but Damian DeCal, the sophomore tailback who's got great speed, shifty, hard to take down, drives over the left side.
Called his name more in special teams, recovering onside kicks than anything else.
He got the ball up to the 42-yard line. Now 2nd and 4. Williams flat-footed, breaks right, flag flies, possibly a hold, and Airline comes away with the stop. Cole Shepard, the senior, gets into the backfield.
So there was a severe miscommunication offensively for Parkway. Before that ball was snapped, Gary Burney, the terrific wide receiver, was looking at the sideline to look for the play. He never moved. There were actually only 2 receivers in this route because Burney never moved. Both receivers were covered. And that makes it a relatively easy sack for Airline. You can decline the hold and, I would think, take the sack and the down.
That's exactly what Coach Scott
on the offense, that penalty is declined. It'll be a 3rd down.
The line to gain is the 37. It'll be 3rd and 12.
I thought they outlawed vuvuzelas a while back, but apparently Airline's got them.
Not in Bossier Parish. Williams from the shotgun, looking for an open man. Steps up, drills one downfield, and Burney draws the flag. This will be on Jeremiah Epps.
You can't ask anyone to cover a guy that long. There was just no pressure on the quarterback.
Defensive pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
It's absolutely the correct call. You could have called holding or pass interference. You call pass interference because the ball's in the air. You see two guys and the grab around the waist by Jeremiah Epps. Easy call. The interesting thing is there were multiple guys open.
8:52 remaining. The beef package comes in. DeCal, knifes forward on first down.
The one-ton package. That's what you get on your truck, right? When your dually, you need the one-ton package.
I won't mention what people hang from their trailer hitch.
No, you probably shouldn't. It's a family broadcast. The one-ton goes out, though. Now we're back to a nice, quick Corvette, something like that, sports car.
2nd and 7 from the 32. Been a good night for Gary Burney. Top of your screen, 88. Already in the second half with a 53-yard touchdown catch. This one's to Burney again, top of the screen, and it's knocked away, almost into the hands of Bradley.
That's just great coverage. Really is. Again, you ask a corner to man up on a guy like Burney or a guy like Darby, you're asking a lot. That guy's got a high D1 body, good speed. That's just terrific play. Step for step, turned around at the right time, knocked the ball away. And Airline's asking their corners to play on an island a lot. Not a lot of safety help.
Really like the play calling by Parkway. That was second down. They've still got 3rd and 7 coming up. And they've got Airline thinking they could go for the end zone again. A.J. Johnson gets up to about the 30-yard line on this carry, left side. Goes over Chris Green and Miller Jago.
And this is interesting as this game progresses. Parkway's not been in a lot of close games at all this year. They have not, I don't believe, been in one close game down the stretch this year. They've been behind a couple of times, but got past that early. This is interesting as we get later in the fourth quarter.
5 times tonight, Airline has stonewalled Parkway on 4th down. This is 4th and 4. Williams with the open target. This is caught, and moving forward is Tony Gladney. Airline can't find the answer there. Great connection between Williams and Gladney, who's back in.
Well, this time they go zone instead of press man. Plenty of time. Just sit down right between 4 different guys in that zone. There was a clear out inside of that. Perfectly executed.
Linebacker comes up through the hole. Makes the initial stop and spinning left for a couple of extra yards. DeCal.
He's gotten a lot more run here, excuse the pun, as this game has progressed. And again, that's just tremendous work right in the middle of the field by Kyron Taylor. With the exception of covering backside of the backfield, the linebackers for both teams have played well.
Here comes the one-ton package, 2nd and 9 from the 12. It's a keeper by Williams. Into the end zone, caught, touchdown, Rod Johnson! The defensive end comes away with the touchdown, and Parkway is back up, 40-36.
Nothing finer than a thick 6, sir. Nothing finer in the world. As a big boy myself, that's all we ever want is the ability to catch a touchdown once in our lives. And again, you've run that one-ton package so many times, and you've run the ball basically between the tackles every single time. This time you fake it inside, release one of those big boys. You don't think 98 is going to – that's not a receiver's number. 98's not going to catch the ball.
Johnson remains in the game. Rolling out is Williams to the corner. Caught. 2-point conversion. Braxton make that the tight end. Drayden Davis with the catch. And Parkway's back up by 6.
Love the touchdown call. 98, you don't think he's doing anything. Next thing you know, soft hands on the big fella. Let him eat. Fantastic.
The junior defensive end with the highlight of a lifetime.
And that is for all the big boys out there that you ask. And by the way, I want it noted, I don't know that anyone saw this or not, but when they put the 1-ton package in, those 3 defensive linemen sprinted on the field. And they have to be exhausted at this point, but they were in a full sprint. I'm guessing 98, Rod Johnson was in a full sprint because he knew he was about to get his number called. I also full sprint when I know I'm about to be paid off. Nice juicy rib or something. I'm a full sprint.
Or opening up an envelope with a check in it. Check's coming.
Yeah, let me know.
6:06 remaining in our ball game.
By the way, that's an extra interesting factor that the players on the field really have no idea how much time's left on the clock.
You can see zeros up on the clock. The officials are keeping it on the field, just over 6 minutes remaining. There have been 6 lead changes. Right now, Parkway on top, 42-36.
Smart play by Airline. That was Preston Hughes. 1 foot out of bounds means that is automatically a kickoff out of bounds. Now, I have no idea if he's taught that. I don't know if he even knew that. But if you step 1 foot out of bounds when you catch it, that is an automatic kickoff out of bounds. That is an incredibly bright play.
Again, Keith Burton conferring with his teammate, making sure to get the right call. Here's another look.
So watch him. He didn't see it. Now the question is, did he have his foot down?
Out of bounds. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line, first down.
They did call it. Here's the thing, though. He was dragging that back foot, but he hadn't put the front foot down yet. That would have been out of bounds back inside the 20.
2 passing touchdowns on the night for Chase Williams at quarterback. They'll pitch to Darby, who gets up to the 35-yard line. He has been a big part of their offense tonight and certainly getting going out of the backfield.
Yeah, second half Darby, really late first half, and then the rest of second half Darby has been a lot different than first half Darby, and more cramping for Parkway. Again, these are 2 high-octane offenses. They run the ball quickly. They run the plays quickly. So no real surprise you're going to get cramping. And by the way, that's Gladney, who was cramping before, so predisposed to do it again.
Let's hope that young man is okay again at the 5A level. Plays both ways, as our Steve Schneider told you at the top of our broadcast. We talked about royalty from Parkway. How about Airline? Todd Walker, an Airline graduate, competed in baseball, football, and soccer for the Vikings. Arguably the greatest player in LSU baseball history. Ended up in the College Baseball Hall of Fame and the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Now a broadcaster for SEC Network. Tonight's game brought to you by Coca-Cola, Real Magic. By Louisiana Army National Guard, protect what matters. By Ochsner and the Ochsner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute. And by Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation, the voice of Louisiana agriculture. Good to see Gladney up and moving. They will keep him hydrated. We'll see how quickly he can get back in the game on defense.
I believe
for Parkway.
That was his other leg. His left leg cramped first. That was his right leg. Part of the reason I never really played competitive sports past about 5th grade is I didn't want to deal with that. I didn't like pain, and I certainly don't like the idea of a full body cramp at any point in time.
Well, I grew up with asthma, Patrick, so I did the non-aerobic sports like baseball. No offense to anybody that loves baseball. But standing at first base because you're 6'2".
John Kruk played baseball, by the way, just so you know.
Pretty well.
Yeah. You don't necessarily have to be the greatest athlete of all time. Vlad Jr. is playing at the highest level right now, though he has lost a bunch of weight.
Another big name from Airline back in the day. How about David Toms, an Airline graduate? 25 years on the PGA Tour, won the 01 championship over Phil Mickelson, 2-time All-American at LSU. Looks like they're going to have to do some substantial work on Gladney to get him back on the field. Let's hope that young man's okay.
Got to break out the industrial-sized pickle juice for that one. And, of course, the problem is once you start getting cramps, it's so difficult to catch back up until you get a chance to rest and hydrate.
We'll reset the game for you. 42-36 Parkway, 2nd and 11 from the 34-yard line for the Vikings. Snap the ball, but no encroachment, they'll say, by Poland. Play clock is not running. And they'll keep that on the field, too.
Yeah, back judge will raise the hand to let them know that the play clock's at 10.
Hayes, 18, is in motion. 3 wide, top of your screen. Williams. Was that ball intercepted by Rod Johnson? He's celebrating like it was. The sideline explodes. They're saying it's an incomplete pass.
Oh, boy. Well, he was angling for the player of the game right there with that one. A touchdown pass and an interception? That's a tremendous read of a tunnel screen. They faked one way, came back the other way. Oh, that is so close. You could see the ball pop out, like the back end of the ball got close to hitting the ground. That is so close. I wanted it for the big fella.
Johnson's playing tonight like it's his last game ever. He's a junior with a season of eligibility to go. 3rd and 11. Williams gets this to Darby, who sheds 1 tackle, trying to get forward for the first down, and he does. They needed 11 yards. Darby got 12.
That's just a guy on another level. Late flag. Right around where the tackle happened. That's just individual effort. It's a shallow cross. They wanted Allen out of the backfield. It wasn't there. Check down to the short cross, and then it's break a tackle, power through a guy, and then something after that drew the attention of the officials, and they tossed the flag.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on number 4. That is his 2nd unsporting of the night. He is ejected.
Wow.
Peyton Rayner has been ejected in Parkway's defense. Rayner, the senior defensive back.
That had to be a punch.
We'll see who Coach Brotherton brings in to fill his spot. Avery Price, number 30, on the field now. Price came in with 17 tackles in his senior season. Here's a chance for another look.
Look at 4. I mean, you understand the twist. There's a little bit of a twist of the ankle holding on. I don't know that warrants an ejection. Unless there may be a specific rule about grabbing the ankle. A 2nd unsportsmanlike. There you go. That'll do it. And that's one of those, he's involved in the offsetting unsportsmanlike. You think nothing of it until it's his 2nd one with 5 minutes left to go in the game, and suddenly you're down one of your best DBs.
Rayner had the big interception earlier that led to Parkway taking the lead. Now 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line of Parkway. Darby in motion. It's a reverse. They'll give this one back to Hayes. Hayes finds a lane. He's at the 20 and brought down after a first down run. What an inventive play by Justin Scoggin and the Vikings.
Yeah, Scoggin is such a good play caller, such a good play designer. Oh, it's going to Darby on the pop pass. No, it's not. You're all flowing with 1. Here comes 18 again. One of the things Justin Scoggin talked about this week was needing to get it to other people other than Darby and Allen. And so having the ability to use Darby that time as a decoy, bring it back the other way with one of the other players that's not Darby or Allen, fantastic work.
A touchdown here would tie it, and Airline has been the only team that has attempted extra points tonight. Darby evades one tackler. He's got the speed to turn the corner. A flag comes in. Darby standing up in the end zone after a 17-yard advance.
Guessing hold downfield. Credit to the downfield blockers, right? Giving effort, continuing. That's what you want. Just don't necessarily want the hold.
Holding. Number 11. 10-yard penalty. First down.
I just need to let go earlier, ref.
Yeah, watch downfield. It's not there, it's there.
11.
Yeah, there was enough there. That's a very iffy call. It's also one of those things where, is the defender, if he dislodges, going to make the play or not?
Ball's moved to the 19-yard line. 1st and 12. This is Allen from the right side. They can't hold their blocks, and he's brought down for maybe a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, Cam Hines and Colby Lee, terrific job on the outside of making sure that they were there.
Little extracurriculars here. We talked about Avery Price coming in.
Yeah, I saw the helmet come off. I didn't realize that it was actually just ripped off at the end of the play. I'm telling you, this is, brother, if you didn't know North Bossier and South Bossier, you know now.
This ball will be moved back to the 28-yard line. Penalties for both teams.
Seemingly on every play, it feels like. Just took a touchdown off the board for Airline.
.443 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Chase Williams at QB needs to get the ball to the 7-yard line. Is Darby up to the task? He gets a block. He's at the 15, the 10, down to the 5 to move the chains. Kenneth Darby.
It's just a weapon, an absolute weapon.
23 yards on the pickup by Ken Darby.
And again, you think you've got it stretched out. You're making him run horizontal. And just like a good outside zone run, you plant your foot and turn upfield when you get the chance.
I mean, what can you do? Can you have a linebacker spy him? He's so fast. Trying to run wide is DJ Allen. Allen, second effort. A flag comes in late. They say touchdown for Airline, which would tie our ball game. Let's see what the laundry's about.
No, we did go one play without a flag, so consider that a positive.
For DJ Allen, that would be his second touchdown run of the night. He had Airline's first score of the evening. Here's another look, Patrick. Whoa.
Yeah, that'll be a defensive face mask.
So our ball game should be tied up.
How many face masking penalties? I would love to know. Look, what I'm about to say is facetious, but are the coaches teaching to tackle by the face mask? Because that's what it feels like right now. It is everybody's grabbing everybody's face mask at this point.
The extra point. Crucial and good. 43-42 Airline on the road. Unsportsmanlike.
Again. Offsetting. Yeah, I would say things are getting exceptionally chippy here.
Last year, Parkway was 5-0, ended up losing their quarterback. Back-to-back 5-0 starts. Here's another look.
So the guy that got the helmet is number 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's one number 4 on the roster. That's Peyton Rayner. Was he not ejected?
It looked like he was ejected in
right,
this quarter.
They gave the thumb signal.
For his second unsportsmanlike call.
He was ejected earlier and then was in there. All right. Well, it's interesting because the head referee gave the thumbs up signal, the toss, the ejection. That's the sign for ejection. You take your thumb and you push it up to the sky. That's an ejection sign, like you get tossed. Okay, so that was the first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Onside kick attempt, and it's pushed forward by Airline. Should be Parkway ball.
Yeah, Airline touched it early. So they mistakenly gave Rayner a second unsportsmanlike conduct that he didn't deserve. Got it. Okay. Whew.
Parkway on the season with a big win to start, 43-13 over Carroll. And then they rolled to wins. Beat Houghton 66-21. Beat Natchitoches Central 69-40, and they most recently beat Byrd in Shreveport 52-24.
Yeah, and that Byrd game was the one they were down early, came back and basically cruised to a win. By the way, this is now the most points that this Parkway defense has given up, and as we mentioned, they had not played any of the other of the top 4 in District 1-5A. They got Shreve coming up, they got Evangel coming up, they've got Airline tonight.
Caleb Williams, the senior QB, late in the fourth quarter, starts the drive at the 36-yard line. Hard run by A.J. Johnson for minimal yardage.
And this is, again, where the lack of clock on the scoreboard becomes an issue.
From the right hash, lateral pass. It's a one-hopper, but I think it's still in the air. Gladney, they'll say it's incomplete. It was a forward pass. It wasn't exactly the Music City Miracle. And Gladney back in after dealing with cramps and coming off twice.
Now you know the Vuvuzelas are coming.
On 3rd and 8. Ball on the 38-yard line. All 4 receivers in the near hash. Gladney's open over the middle. Rolling out is Williams, looking for somebody open. Goes across the field. It's caught by Gray. Gray's got the first down. Puts a defender on skates, and he's knocked out at the 35-yard line. Great run by Gray after the catch.
By the way, what a throw by Caleb Williams. Moving left, back to the right, and put about as much mustard on this as he possibly could, because that is as dangerous a throw as you want to find. Moving left, now you've got to stop and go back the other way. He's lucky he was wide open.
Gets the ball up to the 34-yard line. Hard run off the right side by A.J. Johnson. Gets the ball over the 30.
And the clock's somewhere in the 3-minute mark. This is where, again, no clock on the scoreboard. This is where if you're Coy Brotherton, you might think about slowing it up a little bit.
2 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. 2nd down and 5 for Parkway. There's Coach Brotherton. Right there with the official.
This feels like a run it down to 1 second and take the timeout here. Again, it's the back judge that keeps the time. And you can see him actually counting from 10. Sometimes you got to go old school, Garrett. You know, hey, you got 10 seconds, coach. All right, 9, 8. What comes after 8? 7. I kid with Coy. Coy and Jason, they're the brothers. By the way, used to play each other quite a bit. Jason was the head coach at Houghton. Coy was the head coach here. They actually faced off against each other a couple of times. The Brotherton Bowl.
Oh, man. Print the shirts.
I mean, I think they did have shirts, actually, now that I think about it.
I know their dad, Bob Brotherton, who was a longtime coach at Houghton, very proud of them. He went into Houghton's Hall of Fame before passing away earlier in January of this year. What a night for Caleb Williams back in his 3rd season. He's thrown 4 touchdown passes tonight. The last one was to the big man, his defensive end, Rod Johnson. They have not really struggled to move the ball tonight. There have been certain times on 4th down where Airline has stood tall and stalled them, but they have been very good at picking up 3rd and 4th downs.
Well, and think about the number of possessions they've had, right? And we go back to what Coy Brotherton talked about was points per possession. And yes, they've had 5 4th down stops by Airline, but at the same time, they also had the turnover inside the 5-yard line on the bad snap, but they still have 42 points on the board, which tells you that their offense is still moving at a terrific clip and has great efficiency going.
Josh Coleman, the senior wide receiver number 8, has a pair of touchdown catches. The 6'4 junior 88, Gary Burney, also has a long touchdown catch in this half. That went for 53 yards. It's a handoff this time to Braxton Black, and Black's into the red zone. I believe we're under 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter. 1st down and 10. They've got the ball spotted between the 20 and the 19.
Just a terrific run up the middle. You pull, your fullback comes up, makes a block. It's pretty easy. They're also trying to space out Airline as much as they can. Airline, by the way, responding 1 safety deep. It is man free with 1 safety deep.
With Braxton Black again, stiff arms one man. He's inside the 5. I thought he was going to get all the way into the end zone. A 14-yard pickup, and I think they're going to call timeout here.
Yeah, Airline's got to save time now. Remember, we had how many scores in the last minute? 40, 2 or 3. So, yeah, you got to save time again. Good work right up the middle. And again, you've got a guy at tight end, Drayden Davis, who's leading into the hole and has nothing to do. That tells you that it is a fantastic job of blocking up front.
For the 2nd year running, the LHSAA Network brings you a 1-hour football highlight show that covers the entire state of Louisiana. From Bossier to the Bayou, Friday night in the booth, we'll have it all. So make sure to watch each Friday night this fall starting at 11 p.m. Make sure to catch the show on the LHSAA Network live channel. Watch it live on the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network. 1:24 remaining in our ballgame. Parkway trailing by a single point on their home field.
By the way, can we give credit to Steve Schneider for every time he's giving us a clock update, he's running out to the back judge. No, he's not actually doing that. He's talking to the guy on the sideline. But still, quality work keeping us abreast of the time.
Parkway looking to get into the end zone. They have yet to attempt a field goal this season. That's why they've been so good on 2-point conversions. Came in 9 of 11. 2 wide set, max protect. In the backfield is Braxton Black, who averages 7 yards a carry. Black brought down hard from behind, just shy of the end zone. Should see another timeout called this time, and it'll be for Airline.
Yeah, Scoggins saving all the time he can right now. And there was the long run early. And again, you see Davis, 36, he's got nothing to do. He's leading into the hole. There's nobody there. He's going downfield. There's nobody there. He was just kind of hanging out, leading the way.
Davis, a big man, 6 foot 235. He got into the end zone on a 2-point conversion earlier in this quarter. A little over 1 minute remaining.
What are the chances we see the 1-ton package here?
They've got the ball at the 2. Looks like they've got it at the 1, actually, after that hard run by Black. The senior who had to miss more than half of last season. Caleb Williams calmly, coolly walks out on the field trying to deliver a victory and stay undefeated. He's thrown 4 touchdowns tonight, but the way his offensive line has at times manhandled Airline, you think they could get a good push here and get Black into the end zone. 2nd and goal from the 1. The handoff to Black. He's in the end zone, and Parkway's back on top. Braxton Black's first touchdown of the night. 48-43 Parkway.
Terrific vision that time. That play was designed to go front side, to go left. And Black's ability to see the cutback. And again, right over where Drayden Davis was and his right tackle. Kudos to Thomas Staten. You saw him there celebrating. That is just good running. That's good vision. Seeing where the hole is, making the cutback, and scoring it.
Panthers, of course, have to go for 2 here to go up by 7. That's the 5th touchdown of the season for Braxton Black, the junior tailback. We have an update just before this 2-point conversion. 1 minute, 14 seconds remaining. Caleb Williams on the 2-point conversion, trying to put his team up by a touchdown. Damian DeCal, the 5'6" back. In motion. Linebackers go with him. Williams rolls right, reverses course, and he'll be brought down. Huge stop by Dre Garner, the senior. Looks like there is a flag on the play, but this could be against Parkway.
Yeah, we just talked about the great blocking of Drayden Davis. This time Davis gets beat off the edge, and I couldn't tell if that was going to be a reverse pivot anyway and try to come back against the grain, but too quickly, Dre Garner was in the backfield.
Last season for Parkway in Week 5, they were forced to use a non-varsity student at quarterback against undefeated Byrd and won the game 46-35. Gavin Farrington, for the rest of the season, threw 9 touchdown passes, only 2 picks. He was on the lacrosse team, had given up football his freshman season after a really nice run as their freshman QB. Coach Brotherton called him up on that Sunday after the injury to Caleb Williams. He said, "Let me ask my parents, but I'm in, Coach." Both parents gave him their blessing and really had a special senior season. Timeout called here, and both teams will head back to their sidelines. Farrington now is a freshman at Centenary on the lacrosse team.
Yeah, right across the river. Also interesting to note that Coy Brotherton listened to his players, right? That's a special relationship. They came to him and said, "Coach, why don't you go get him, bring him back?" I don't know. The players were definitely for it. So he said, "You know what? I trusted my players," and he made the call.
They are looking to go 6-0 and stay undefeated. Again, just 35 teams go into Week 5 in the state of Louisiana. 314 schools in competition. Could be a really special season for Parkway if this lead holds.
Well, it's interesting. We were talking about how strong their defense was, and interested to see if that defense would hold up against one of the best offenses. Like Captain Shreve is going to test you, Evangel's going to test you, Airline's going to test you, Parkway, this team's going to test you. Well, I don't know how Coy Brotherton thinks his defense has done so far, but they have gotten 2 extra possessions with turnovers.
Hart and Darby are back deep. I don't think the ball's getting anywhere near them. Fielded by Preston Hughes at the 35-yard line.
I wonder if the game was 1 or 2 points with Airline actually having a field goal kicker, if that would have been a deeper kickoff or not. As it stands, they have to go not the length of the field, but at least a longer distance. They have to score a touchdown.
Chase Williams back out on the field, trying to keep Airline from suffering a 3-game losing streak. They need to go the full length of the field, 65 yards, to come back over the top of Parkway. Williams with top targets, Darby, Hayes, and Hughes. Flushed out of the pocket. Allen not going anywhere, but a flag is going to nullify whatever gain they would have gotten.
What do you think about declining it here?
53. Holding, 53. That's 53. White.
Looks like Ashton Old called for the flag. They started at the 35, and that is a hold.
I think it was actually Dalen Carmish that I thought the official said 51. I think he said 54. Yeah, it's an interesting call for Coy Brotherton. It was a lost yardage play. Do you give them 10 yards and take the down over, or do you go ahead and decline it and take the play? And I think that's what they ultimately decided to do.
Ball's moved back up to the 31-yard line. Should be about 2nd and 15. Williams checks the sideline. Now he's got what he wants. And the pride of the Pantherland band is in full throat, making it tough for Williams to get the signals out. They'll give to Darby, short side of the field. Gets past the original line of scrimmage, up to about the 40, and he's out of bounds to stop the clock. Third down.
Only saw one of those in the first half. It's been the bread and butter in the second half. Darby on the pop pass, the end around. Again, they do such a great job of walling everyone off, just spreading everything out and then letting Darby pick his lane.
Roll out by Williams. Trying to cut through traffic, and he is rode down by Rod Johnson. Timeout, Airline. Not a great decision here.
Yeah, you basically run into that sack.
Third and final timeout by Airline, and Patrick, with just 41 seconds remaining, we just got an update from Steve Schneider on the sideline. What kind of plays can you call here? You are 61 yards from the end zone.
Well, you get the benefit of the clock stopping on a first down, which is huge, unlike the NFL. That's a massive thing. So everything basically has to be a first down at this point. If not, it's got to be very fast. So first down, you can either spike it at that point or line back up quickly, but everything has to be a first down, obviously starting now.
4th down and 6. This is the ball game, and Parkway's defense is licking their chops. Williams. It's a give, but he's met by Rayner, and the ball he stops his forward momentum. Parkway on 4th down gets the stop, and they will emerge undefeated.
They go hook and ladder But honestly, if the receiver just turns and walks upfield, he's got a first down. And Rayner with an interception, and now the biggest play on defense. Incredible stop there. And we thought he was ejected.
We did. I mean, he got an unsportsmanlike call, and credit his coaches and the assistants to argue his case and get him back in. Such an inventive play call by Coach Scoggin, but it finishes about 2 yards shy of a first down, and the sideline has erupted for Parkway.
And again, I think if Hayes just turns around and takes a step forward, he's got the first down. He actually gave up yardage in order to try to go for that hook and ladder.
It was certainly a game of runs. Parkway with a 14-0 run took a big advantage. And then Airline had a 14-0 run of their own.
Healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
We've gone final here at Crownover Stadium. It was a good one. Parkway 48, Airline 43. The Panthers go undefeated 6-0. Airline falls to 3-3. Garrett Walbert, Patrick Netherton with you. What an unbelievable game, Patrick. Thank you for coming onto the network and pinch hitting for Derry Beckwith today. You got a great game to call.
I just brought you 91 points. You know, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to bring you the offense. No, this is 1-5A in a nutshell. It is exactly what happens in this district. It's quarterback play and great offenses.
Let's take a look at the player of the game. Brought to you by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Protect what matters.
Well, no surprise. Caleb Williams is your player of the game. 4 touchdown passes, couple over the middle, terrific strikes to Coleman. And you see the gun right there. There's Coleman again. No surprise, Caleb Williams doing a tremendous job with the offense. Great to see him back after missing so many games last year. Finds Bernie on the long strike, and then the old fullback out of the backfield, slipping behind everyone. And then, of course, the big man. Can't forget about Rod Johnson, the thick 6. It makes it easy. A guy throws 4 touchdowns, that's easy for Coy Brotherton's team.
Our Steve Snyder's down on the field with Caleb Williams.
Just can agree. The number ones for each of these teams were outstanding. Caleb is the winner, and here's the presentation.
I'm Sergeant Morado. This is Sergeant Upchurch with the Louisiana Army National Guard, and proud to present the player of the game to Caleb Williams. Congratulations, man.
So, Caleb, I was here 2 years ago. It was your sophomore year. It was homecoming. You had a lead. It slipped away. These guys got you.
Yes, sir.
Then last year, your season ended early with an injury.
Yes,
what does this game and this performance mean to you?
It really means everything, man. Even before I was here, we haven't beat them in a long time, and every time it's a dogfight, and today we won the fight.
Your defense was better than some of these shootouts we've seen up here in Bossier, huh?
Yes, sir. I love my defense. I love those guys. They always come through when we need them, and we always going to help each other out.
Down in Baton Rouge, we've gotten used to seeing Michaela grab a lot of attention.
Yes, sir.
She your biggest fan? What kind of stuff does she tell you? What do you tell her?
I mean, that's really, I love her to death, man. She's really my best friend. Really, we help each other out with everything, either on the court, off the field, off the field. It's just me and her, it run deep for both of us.
Take a deep breath. What does it feel like to be 6-0?
Feels great, man.
All right. Player of the game, Caleb Williams. Back up to you guys.
Thank you very much, Steve. 13 touchdowns in the ball game. Again, 91 points, 7 touchdowns for the victorious Parkway Panthers. They've got a great season ahead of them. They're going to go to Huntington.
First touch of the ball out of the backfield was a 49-yarder.
That gave them the lead.
And then sloppy tackling and an easy play for Josh Coleman, his first of 2 touchdowns second of 2 touchdowns that he would have. Then the deep ball, that was easy for Gary Burney, and then of course Airline would respond right up the middle, little tush push for Williams.
Come out here tonight. Score the way we did at the end of the game meant a lot, man, and just proud for what's going on right now with this celebration. But we'll get back to work on Monday and go.
Caleb won our player of the game, but there were so many other guys that contributed. Your defense, a guy who kept cramping up, playing both ways. Who can you talk about?
Antonio Gladney, man. The thing is he's probably one of our top weapons on offense, and they did a great job tonight, kind of minimizing his touches. I know he was getting a little frustrated, but he just kept making plays on defense, and not sure how much times his name got called, but his presence on the field on both sides means a lot to the guys around him, and obviously for them to take him away the way they did, he has showed up on film.
Peyton Rayner's name got mentioned. That you wanted takeaways. He gave.
Steve Schneider, I'm Garrett Walford. We appreciate Steve Schneider. I'm Garrett Walford. We appreciate you watching and supporting the LHSAA Network, broadcasting games of the week from the LHSAA Network, broadcasting games of the week from the Bossier area, all the way down to South Louisiana. We've got a good one next week, Church Point and North. Way down to South Louisiana. We've got a good one next week, Church Point and Northwest.
If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.